tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising. In the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor far.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. Sorry about that. I don't know why, but Streamlabs decided it wanted to have a little bit of a meltdown there before we got things going here this evening from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway, as things are just getting started. Things are just about to get underway for a lot of fun here this evening, man. This is going to be some great racing action here today, and hopefully you guys are ready for an absolutely amazing show as we get ready to go here this evening. As we'll get a quick word in here from our sponsor over at Mr. Lonnie Crider. Crider coming in again with our opening command here this evening. Let's get Lonnie up and onto the screen here. It's going to go black for a second. We apologize about that. There's Lonnie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for Lonnie Crider with our opening command.
Thank you very much. Another great day that God has made for us to race here at Daytona Speedway. As you were watching last week, you've seen a lot of good racing. You've seen guys on their tops. You've seen some great side-by-side racing. And it's just a joy to watch this racing. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, our announcer, and everybody out there is watching. I'd like to thank all the drivers that come out. Hey, you drivers, you mean a lot to all of us. And I'll tell you what, you guys do a great job. Once again, this is Lonnie Crider saying, God bless America. Have a great race at Daytona. Be safe. Start those engines and let's go racing, guys.
All right, you guys heard it there from Mr. Crider as we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. We're going to get ready to go to battle here this evening. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, as the action is just about to get started. We got 100 laps of racing action here today at Daytona International Speedway. It is the World Center of Racing here at Daytona. And man, oh man, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be an absolutely amazing show. Hopefully everyone's in here. Hopefully we get everyone back in here. I know there was a good group of people waiting and watching and getting excited for this race. Obviously, when we ran into connection issues, it got things started off on the wrong foot right there, which really sucks, but we got things rolling again. A quick reset there of our of everything over there on Streamlabs, and it looks like everything is good. Everything is working well, so we shouldn't have any more issues and should be good to go here for the rest of the night. So we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. We're going to get ready to go to battle. Hopefully no connection issues or anything else here, as we'll get these drivers ready to go to battle. We'll get ready to rumble here today from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. It's starting on the pole in the number 119. It's Austin Franham. Franham out in front. He'll start on that pole position. Melvin Brenker there to his outside. The 6 machine, it is Brian Underwood who will start there in second to his outside. The 95 ride is Matt Skurlak there in position number 4. Frank Hughes Jr. in the 61 will start in position number 5. Danny White to his outside. Then we see William Connolly there in the 25 ride, and Sean Jensick, the 91, to his outside. Starting in position number 9 in the number 76, it's Farrell Robbins to his outside. It is the 12 ride, the Aflac machine of Matthew Morgan. So that's rounding out our top 10. There we see Noah Blackwell, Jonathan Gaston, Cody Blackmore, Landon Burbage, Scott Hendricks. Then we see Heinrichs there in position number 15, Scott Heinrichs. Dylan Carrier, Justin Bradley, Ryan Haller, James Efaw, Cody Cash back there in the 20th position. Then we see Mr. Matthew Wood. We see Benjamin Romano, Aiden Lucas, Jordan Hand, Grant Applegate, Josh Crider, Ben Gleason, Caden Gargiulo, Jordan Crider, and Chris Getz rounding out our 30-car field here this evening as we will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Daytona International Speedway with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As our opening points day here on season number 6, I do believe now, season number 6 underway here officially after we had our great showing in the shootout last Saturday night here at Daytona. We saw some great racing, some craziness there. You heard Lonnie Crider talk about it, how we had some drivers on their lid, some drivers having really good races, other drivers not having the best of races, but nonetheless, they put on an absolutely amazing show for each and every one of us. As Nathan B says, sucks to not be out there tonight, especially with how last week was shaping to end. Hopefully he'll be back sooner than later. Nathan B, we can't wait to get you back out there on the racetrack. As look at a little contact back there between the number 48 ride and the 84. It's the 84. No. Who's in that Lowe's Pro ride? That is the 48 ride. That is Cody Cash back there. Cody Cash, I do believe it was the 21 machine there of James Efaw. Made a little contact. They almost got our first caution flag of the day down through the dry oval, but leading lap number 1 was our pole sitter, that 119 machine. As that, I do believe it's JCR ride here, I do believe is what it says on the hood of this car. We should really learn that. Yes, JBR is pretty sure is what that's reading. JBR Chevrolet at the front of the field here, showing all these drivers the way around as he's got Brian Underwood, our back-to-back champion, right there behind him. Underwood looking to try to put himself up into victory lane, trying to put himself into the best position here just to start out this season after winning the championship last year. So he's off to a good start here, sitting in position number 2, right in behind our race leader. Now we will have stage breaks here this evening. Last week we had one stage break right around that halfway marker of our 45-lap shootout, but here tonight we get a couple stages, an opportunity for drivers to try to earn some stage points and try to set themselves up here for some extra bonus points, some bonus points throughout the race season, and potentially try to get themselves off to a hot start here points-wise is never a bad idea, as we will see stage breaks at lap number 20 and lap number 45 here this evening. So quite a bit longer than what we ran last week. So these drivers, they know what they've got to do. They know that they've got to be a little bit more prepared, maybe try to take things a little bit more easy out there on the racetrack, knowing that this is a much longer race. There's not really that much of a gumption to get up and go as early as what they were in our shootout. Obviously, with points on the line now, it adds a little bit more to that risk versus reward, where before last week there really was only one reward, that was winning the race. But here tonight, the reward may not be just finishing the race, getting the win, but just trying to finish the race, get this good finish in, get a good start to the season, not have a major issue and end up at the back of the pack may be the best reward to have here at a racetrack like Daytona, as you do see that outside lane moving forward, and Farrell Robbins will lead lap number 4. So Farrell Robbins out in front here in this one, as Brian Alessandro says, let's go Landon or Matthew, he says, as Brian says, party games started, Peacemaker, laugh out loud. The party games already started? Come on now, I don't plan on yawning at all throughout this race, okay? I'm hyped up, I'm pumped up, I'm excited to see these guys out there on the racetrack putting on an absolutely amazing show for us here this evening. As out in front, it's Austin Farnham. Farnham at the front of the field here with Brian Underwood right there behind him in that bang number 6 ride. Frank Hughes Jr. there in third. Then we see Connolly and Farrell Robbins, our top 5, out there on the racetrack as the number 2 of Landon Burbage rolls there in position number 6. Jonathan Gaston, Melvin Brangruer, Justin Bradley, and now Ryan Haller in the 77 ride. He's in that Ziegler ride down low. That 77 started to work his way up inside the top 10. Brian says, okay. Well, listen, it may still happen. There may be a few that pop out. When we get towards that 10, 11 o'clock at night area here for the Eastern time zone guys like myself, it's a little late, man. It's a little late. I work early. I'm up early. I don't get a lot of sleep. So when it gets to nighttime, those yawnings, they definitely start to come into play. So you never quite know when they may strike. But hopefully not here tonight. Hopefully tonight it's nothing but good, hard racing. Some amazing action out there on the racetrack, and everyone having a great time here this evening. And hopefully no major adversity or issues out there, or problems for some of these drivers. We do see Farnham still at the front of the field here. Our pole sitter looking to try to keep himself right there at the front of the field as Brian Underwood rolls there in position number 2. Frank Hughes Jr. there in third with Connolly and Farrell Robbins still hanging on to that 5th position, but he does have Landon Burbage that Prince is towing number 2 ride right down to his inside. Landon trying to race his way up inside the top 5 here this evening as Brian Brewer, Jonathan Gaston, Justin Bradley, Haller all right there ready to pounce, as I do believe Brenger are sporting a new paint scheme here this evening as well. Always looking good out there on the racetrack. Here comes that Aflac number 12 rider Matthew Morgan, as well as Matthew Skarlik as well. Skarlik up into position number 11 here after falling back early on in this 95 ride, trying to drive his way back up here, rolling that outside groove with 3 other drivers in front of him. Could potentially put himself back into a solid position out there, but early on, he's already down 7 spots out there on the racetrack. With Matthew Morgan trying to work to his inside, we do see James Efaw right there. Same with Sean Jensick here, as some drivers definitely going to move backwards early on. Other drivers maybe try to just hang out at the front of the field. Other drivers may try to race their way forward, but it's all about survival. At a racetrack like Daytona, where the big one is right around the corner, you never know when it's going to happen. You see a lot of these drivers already playing it a whole lot safer than a lot of these other drivers. When you look at Cody Cash, he's like basically at the tail end of that lead pack, but really there's a whole lot of other drivers that are trying to hang on to that tail end as well. You take a look back here at the 84 ride. That is the 84 machine of Cody Blackmore. Blackmore, the 88 of Dylan Carrier. You look at that 67 ride right there. That is Scott Heinrich. Heinrich is trying to keep himself kind of just backing a little farther away here. Just trying to keep himself out of, potential catastrophic areas out there on the racetrack. And we start to see them moving around here a little bit. Oh, baby. That got very, very close. You do see the 95 ride. Oh, tough break here for Matthew Skurlak. Is Skurlak up and into the outside fence right here? Let's take a look at it. We saw a few drivers starting to check up. They probably saw whatever happened here, as it looks like the 95 just drives it into corner number 3, does not really turn into the corner right there, and unfortunately gets up into the outside fence, and I kind of broke up that back of the pack there a little bit. But you do see Dylan Carrier, Matthew Wood, Scott Heinrich, as all these guys still kind of just in line, just kind of hanging out here a little deeper in the field, making sure that there is some action. If there is some damage out there, then we're going to see these guys probably, just trying to keep themselves out of trouble, trying to keep themselves out of major catastrophic failures or big damage out there on the racetrack, as they do not want to put themselves into a tough position here this evening. You see Aiden Lucas right there, the 24 ride of Jordan Hand, Grant Applegate right there ready to pounce. Then you see Josh Crider, Caden Gargiulo, and now we start to see some drivers head down pit road, green flag pit stops. Oh, baby, here we go. So it's on like Donkey Kong. Green flag pit stops. We see the, I believe this is the Carrier Motorsports Group headed down pit road with Sean Jensick, Noah Blackwell, Cody Blackmore, Dylan Carrier all headed down pit road. They also got Matthew Skurlak, I think, coming down pit side after getting damaged there down in quarter number 3. He's headed down pit side here kind of just by himself, trying to get this car repaired and back out onto the racetrack. But you do see Jensick, Blackwell, Blackmore, and Dylan Carrier all jumping out here together. Now they're going to want to try to get bunched together in a quick hurry. You do not want to be majorly separated and giving up positions out there on the racetrack. You want to be able to stay tight together and hope to see some more, 4-car, 5-car packs head down pit side. You do not want to see the entire field virtually come down pit side here, as you're outnumbered. You're a whole lot less drivers out there on the racetrack, but obviously those cats, they knew that they weren't going to make it here in this first stage on fuel. So fuel definitely going to be playing a major factor here in this race. And for Farrell Robbins, he's now at the front of the field, just in front of that 119. Our pole sitter, Austin Farnham. It's Farnham now they're in position number 2. And now with pit stops potentially lurking around the corner for a lot of these drivers, that can make things very, very interesting in a quick hurry here this evening. If drivers have to come down pit road before this first stage, then that's going to open up the door for drivers to potentially run into issues, as you do see them actually moving around this 95 ride. That's a tough break as early on Matthew Skrlak going to go a lap down out there in that 95 ride. That's definitely not a spot you want to be for the University of Wyoming number 95 ride after his issue into the outside fence, and now falling all the way back to being a lap down. But lucky break for him if he can stay here in this lucky dog position, or if he sees the rest of these drivers all have to come down pit road, then he would get that lucky dog in this stage break, which is only about, where are we at? We're about to hit lap 13 here, so about 7 more laps from now. Potentially could get the wave around back on the lead lap, back into the action here this evening as Farrell Robbins, Austin Farnham, that number 61 of Frank Hughes Jr. right there as well, as it doesn't look like we have any other drivers heading back down pit road as of now. As we take a look back at the there you are, the Carrier Motorsports Group. You take a look, Sean Jensick, Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, Cody Blackmore. They all kind of get tied together quickly as possible, and they're just going to try to work as a train here, keep themselves up the pace and potentially up in front as that's 2 shots already. Those aren't yawns. Those aren't yawns. Come on now. Come on now. Those are just extended wordage. They're not yawns. Come on. Come on now, chat. Come on now. Don't play me like that. As you see these guys there, unfortunately right now, they are about 40 seconds behind our race leaders, which really is not that far in comparison when you look at this racetrack. But nonetheless, if they still have to make this green flag pit stop, what issues, what problems may they run into trying to head down pit side? The smaller groups, sometimes it's better to come down in a small group because you know you can kind of keep yourself out of trouble and not get ran over, have less of an opportunity to run into problems trying to hit pit lane. But at the same point in time, when you get stuck in a smaller group, you're not as fast, you don't have as much draft out there, and you can be running a whole lot slower than that lead pack. And as of right now, that lead pack is running just slightly faster than that 4-car tandem right now. Now, for the 4-car tandem, they're doing the best thing that they can do, which is stay single file. You don't want to start getting broken up. You don't want to be going too wide. You want to be running right on top of each other and keep yourselves right there tied together and rolling here at the front of the field without having issues and without potentially going a lap down before this stage break happens. As you do see lap number 15 get clicked off the board, we have 5 more laps left to go here in stage number 1 of our first points race of the season here from Daytona International Speedway with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As Farrell Robbins, Austin Farnham, Frank Hughes Jr. lead the way here in this one. You see Jonathan Gaston rolling that outside lane here. He's got a 19 of Melvin Brent Brewer there on his back bumper. Brent Brewer for a second there looked like he thought about going to the outside of that number 72. Ryan thought better of it. Stays in behind the G-Man here and keeps on pushing that 72, trying to get him to the front of the field. As you see Brian Underwood right there, James Seafaw, Landon Burbage, Danny White, and Justin Bradley all inside our top 10. But now we see the 14 ride and a few others head down pit road. This is where you cannot run into mistakes. You cannot have problems. As you come down pit side, you cannot have a speeding issue. You cannot have a problem sliding around, as we do see Farrell Robbins, Brian Underwood, Austin Farnham, Justin Bradley. Here comes Ryan Haller, also down pit side. Scott Heinrich is down pit road. Jordan Crider and Chris Getz also make their way down pit side here. Look at that beautiful paint scheme for Jordan Crider as well. New paint scheme, beautiful looking ride. And now there was a bit of a mistake there on that pit stop for that 33 machine as he came down pit road. Unfortunately, had to kind of throw that car into reverse, back it up. And unfortunately for these guys, I think a little bit slower pit stop for them. That's going to probably put them way behind our race leaders, as you do see Farrell Robbins and Brian Underwood, first 2 there off of pit road, as we see another wave starting to come down pit side. But you take a look here and look at some of those drivers, the Crider Carrier Motorsports team. Here they come, steamrolling through these guys here, as we do see even more drivers start to head down pit road, but a caution flag comes out, and this is what we were talking about. Potential issues during these pit stops. And for a lot of these drivers, I'm not sure if that's going to help them or hurt them here. Let's take a look back and see what happens. I do believe this was trying to come down pit road. Now, I'm not sure what may have... Oh, right there, you see the 19 ride. That's Melvin Brangrower. The 9, the 95 also getting tied up in it. That's a tough break for that 9 ride, or 95 ride here. Let's take a look at it and see kind of what happens, how this gets played out here. Does it look like the 19 maybe thought about coming down pit road right there, kind of moved down onto that double yellow line? The 61, I thought, maybe thinks he's kind of going down pit road here as well, kind of jumps to the middle groove, trying to get around that Shark Ninja machine. Unfortunately for the 19, he elects to stay out, does not come down pit road, and this going to comes back up over top the nose of the 61, bounces off that Amazon Prime number 9 right of Benjamin Romano, nowhere to go for Romano, and then you see the 95 just trying to keep himself out of it. They kind of get a little log jam there in front of him. He locks it up and spins that car sideways down through the infield grass as well, but doesn't look like any major contact or damage for most of these drivers that got collected, but nonetheless, our first yellow flag of the day will be displayed. And now for a lot of these drivers, they got to head down pit road still. Some of them could not come down pit road and make pit stops here. They were down on pit lane or on the entrance to pit road, but still have to make these pit stops here. So you do see a lot of drivers make their way down pit lane. Danny White, Frank Hughes Jr., Melvin Brangrower, Matthew Morgan, Gaston, Cody Cash. All these drivers heading down pit road here in this one. You see pretty much everyone head down pit lane now, as you do see Noah Blackwell and Dylan Carrier. Drivers that we thought would probably stay out there did not stay out. They all come down pit road. We also see Matthew Skrlak also down pit side here. Now, Matthew was in the lucky dog position, but I don't believe... He kind of got tied up in that yellow flag. I do believe he is not going to get the wave around here this evening, so that is a tough break there for the 95 ride. He'll have to hope for another quick caution flag to try to get himself back on the lead lap and back into the action here this evening. As we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening. It is Farrell Robbins who will consume that race lead. Brian Underwood will be there in second. Let's see if we can get Farrell Robbins up here into the booth right now. Let's see if we can pull Farrell up here. Let me see if we can find a Discord where he's hiding out at. And I'm not sure where exactly he is. There he is. Okay, we might be able to pull him in here, chat. Let's see if we can pull Mr. Farrell Robbins up here into the booth. Hey, Farrell, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, I do, Aaron.
Farrell, man, out in front, leading the way here. I do believe this one, I'm not sure when they decided to call it for stage number 1, if they're still calling it on lap 20 or not, but here you are at the front of the field. Timely caution flag during those pit stops, and you're back out in front.
Yeah, so, sorry I was interrupted. Did I get the stage? Aaron?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you did or not. I'm not sure how they call that, because I know the stage is at the completion of lap 20, or at least it's supposed to be, but with that caution flag being just beforehand, it's kind of up in the air for me as well, but nonetheless, man, having a strong showing here. Obviously, we saw you last year pick up this win in our season opener, so you got to be feeling good. Once again, having another strong performance here at Daytona and potentially in a good position here to maybe pick up another opening win here at Daytona.
That's the plan, man. And these cars are a little different this year, and I'm very happy with my car, my teammates, and we're going to do it. I feel very good for today's race.
Absolutely. Obviously, still a lot of laps left to go compared to last Saturday when we ran that shootout, virtually double the length of that race. And you still got another stage to come, and then obviously a lot of laps, a lot of potential green flag pit stops here. What's the strategy here this evening? Do you just try to break it up into 20-lap segments? Because obviously you guys needed fuel here before the end of that first 20 laps.
Yeah, we got a long ways to go, Aaron. So, hey, we're 1 lap to green on the backstretch. So, real quick, if I can give a shout-out to my son, Alec, in Oregon. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Farrell, good luck out there. Have some fun, brother, and hopefully we see you back up here in the booth by the end of the night.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there, Farrell Robbins, as he gets ready to rock and roll, gets ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here this evening at the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. Here this evening, these drivers get ready to rock and roll. They get ready to go to battle once again. He's got his teammate right there behind him, that 79 rider, Danny White, to look for a big run down low here. You'll see Caden Gargiulo up there. Good to see Caden having a good run here this evening as he works his 7 ride up and into position number 5 here on the racetrack. Cody Cash right there to his outside. Cody up inside the top 6 now, up 13 positions on the racetrack, looking for 5 more as he wants to put himself out in front of this field. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing here at Daytona International Speedway. There you go, that inside lane getting the run that they were hoping for here on that bottom groove. You already see some movement here, and now a little bit more movement. Look as the 19 ride of Melvin Brangruer comes down the racetrack, bullies his way to that inside lane, and that really breaks up this back half of the top 10, and virtually everyone back there behind him kind of bust that thing open as the 19 came down. The 21 had to go 3 wide, virtually down to the double yellow line there, and luckily enough was able to get back onto the racetrack before quarter number 1. That could have made a bunch of catastrophic failures for a lot of drivers in a quick hurry with that move. But luckily enough, everyone able to keep their cars pointed the right direction. Now you see Ryan Haller, he's got that 88 ride of Dylan Carrier. Carrier knows how to get it done. Picked up that win on Saturday as we see the caution flag come back out, and a couple drivers having some issues here. It looked like the 18 ride, Noah Blackwell, up and into the outside fence right there. Let's play this one back and take a look at it. There was a few drivers that all of a sudden had some issues. I do believe it's going to start here as the 18 and the 95. Oh, there's some pretty good contact right there, and it looks like his teammate in the Carrier Motorsports number 91 going to get some damage out of that as well. There's nowhere to go for Mr. I do believe that was the 91 ride of Sean Jensick. There's really nowhere for him to go right there. Let's see if we get another angle at this one. Kind of see how this one got played out, how this contact came to be as you see the 18 kind of to the outside of the 84. I'm assuming we're going to see Blackwell try to come down and close that gap here. He wants to get in behind his teammate. Unfortunately, this 95 right already there, and not sure if the 95 maybe came up a little bit as the 18 kind of coming down ever so slightly. Nonetheless, they kind of meet right in the middle of that lane right there, and for the 18 ride, he gets sideways on the racetrack, and now for a lot of these other drivers back here behind him, this is a scary sight to see. You got a driver right there turned around in front of you. Everyone's trying to avoid him. Look at the 18 ride, actually get a little airborne right there after hard contact from Sean Jensick. Jensick, his Carrier Motorsports teammate here, the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine Ryan, really nowhere for him to go. Sees his teammate go around right there, and then right back up in front of him. Heavy front end damage there for that 91 ride. Heavy damage to the 18 machine as well. So a couple of drivers running into some major issues here early on this evening. See if we can jump on board with Noah Blackwell. See what he can see here from the cockpit of this 18 ride as he goes for a bit of a ride here himself. And this is definitely never a fun time to have. And obviously having this early damage and some pretty serious contact there and getting pretty tore up down out of corner number 4 for that 18 ride and for the 91 machine here as well. It's going to really set them back, especially if they got to use quick repairs or anything else. Let's see if we can jump on board. This is riding with Sean Jensick. Is Jensick going to see that spin right there, and then the 18 right in front of him just clips him ever so slightly, but gets some pretty solid damage on the front of this car. So we'll have to try to get that repaired, try to get that thing back together, and hopefully not have to use a quick repair or end up in a bad position out there on the speedways. You see Noah Blackwell still down pit side, still trying to get that car fixed up and rolling here once again this evening. You do see Austin Farnham also down pit side here, a little extended pit stop for the number 119. This is our pole sitter. So I'm not sure what the game plan is here for the Gaston's iRacing Graphics Tier 1 number 119 ride. As we'll have to wait and see if he slides back out there or what's going on here with that 119 ride. Now for Matthew Skurlak, I do believe Skurlak should get the wave around here. I'm not 100% sure. Benjamin Romano also one lap down here in the 9 ride, so both drivers are eligible to potentially earn that free pass, with the 95 getting tied up in that caution flag again. I'm not sure if they'll give him the wave around or not. We'll have to wait and see here. Let's see if we can find another driver to pull up here into the booth. Let's see if we can find one of these other cats. Let me see here. Who's the driver up there? Cody Cash, he's sitting here in second. Let's see if we can get Cody Cash up here into the booth chat. Let's see where he's even hiding in the Discord. Not too sure where he's at. There's Cody Cash. All right, let's see if we can jump in here with Cody. Hey, Cody, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy? Hey, Cody, it's Aaron up here in the booth. They get a copy? All right, well, Cody is muted, so we can't get Cody in here. Let's see if we can get another one of these drivers. We tried to get Ryan Haller in here last week. Let's see if we can get Haller in here now. Hey, Ryan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, I got to put my speaker on because I can't hear you. Hold on, wait. Okay, I guess I got to do it like a phone call. I can't put you on speaker. Hello?
I can hear you, Haller. I can hear you, brother.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. Ryan, so far, so good here out of that 77 ride. How you feeling out there on the racetrack?
Good. I kind of made a mistake there. Probably should have pitted with Brian. Didn't know he was going in for more fuel, but, you know, probably going to have more cautions come out. You know, it's Daytona, so we'll see. Just might have to get more fuel before the end of the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuel going to be the name of the game here for most of this race. How you feeling going into this? Knowing that, you know, numerous green flag pit stops here throughout the evening may be really the make or break here this afternoon.
Good. You know, I'm feeling pretty good on my green flag stops. I just got to make sure all my settings are checked. I accidentally took tires on that one, and when the caution came out, if that didn't come out, I would have not been able to catch up to my pack. So, you know, just got to make sure all my stuff's set up right. Anyways, we're going green. I got to get ready to shift. I got to put my phone down.
Absolutely, brother. Good luck. Have fun out there, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the booth in just a little bit.
All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate what you do. I'll see you later.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from him there. That is Ryan Haller ready to rock and roll, ready to get going back to green flag racing here as the 77 sits there in that 5th position, ready to rock and roll here once again this evening. It sure says, come on down to Florida for some PGA golf vacationing. What? Mrs. Haller, I'm 100% in for that. Sign me up as here we go. Back to green flag racing as the 61 of Frank Hughes Jr. on that loud pedal, quickly putting that throttle down, looking to try to clear everybody else. And look who's behind him. Last week's Dash for Cash winner, the 88 rider Dylan Carrier. And Carrier says, I'm not going to wait long to try to get to the front of the field. Here he goes, jumping to the outside of that 61 ride and looking for the race lead once again here at Daytona International Speedway. As Dylan Carrier now door-to-door with our race leader, Frank Hughes Jr. at the front of the field, as Ryan Haller there in third, pushing that 61 right here at the front of the pack is Matthew Morgan right there as well in that 12 ride. But look out, a little bit of contact. They get a little bit spread out. They get a little bit wide. Drivers down on the apron. Oh, baby, that was almost the big one here this evening. That was a very, very close call. Let's see if we can play this one back, as my gosh, that was a close one there for Mr. Haller. There's a close one for Brian Underwood and so many other drivers. I'm not sure if it was just a untimely push or if the 61 just got loose, getting pushed here by the 77 ride, as the 77 all over his back bumper, and just looks like, yeah, the 61 this maybe gets a little loose right there. The car just digs into the track a little too much, and unfortunately kind of just pushes him down onto the apron. The 77 ride, he's getting loose from that contact. He goes down to the infield here. Same with the 6 of Brian Underwood, and you see all these drivers right down onto the apron here, just trying to keep their cars pointing the right direction. But for all these other drivers to the outside, very good piece of driving there, trying to keep themselves out of any carnage. And a lot of these guys a little deeper in the field out there, man, they were quickly able to get onto the binders there and try to keep themselves out of trouble. And for Haller, I feel like we're cursed when we bring Haller up here into the booth, as he was running up there running so good, then having that issue, and now all of a sudden for Ryan Haller, he's at the back of this pack. He's back here, unfortunately, in the 27th position. No drafting help. He's really going to need that caution flag to come out before potentially seeing this stage come out, as he wants to make it to the end of the stage, but fuel could become an issue, but trying to keep himself on that lead lap for the next 18 laps is going to be a very, very tall task to do all by himself out there on the speedway for Matthew Skrlak. He is in that lucky dog position. If a caution flag can come out, then he's not tied up or in. He should be able to get that waiver on the lucky dog back on the lead lap for Austin Farnham here as well. That 119 run, we saw him for an extended period of time down pit road there during that last yellow flag, and unfortunately that time he spent down pit side has actually put him a lap down out there on the speedway as well. So for the 119, now back into 29th position. He is in position to earn the lucky dog here if he can jump up and get around that 95 ride, who's only about 7 or 8 cars in front of him. And then we see Benjamin Romano back here as well. This is like a little bit of a third grouping here. The field's really broken up with that issue out there on the racetrack. Really kind of broke things up, and a lot of drivers are kind of either rolled out of it or trying to run a little bit more conservative now. You see only really 4 drivers working that outside lane. The 15 rider Aiden Lucas thinking about jumping out there, but for a lot of these other drivers, they're just kind of falling back off the base here, not really running, you know, crazy hard right now, and a lot of them trying to play it a little bit safer than probably what they should. As you take a look at that airplane going off in the background, that's pretty to see. As all these drivers doing a fantastic job. It is Noah Blackwell out in front here. So Blackwell able to get that car repaired and able to keep on battling here this evening. And he's worked his way right to the front of the pack here as he's now got a couple of his teammates right there on his back bumper. Dylan Carrier in position number 2. Cody Blackmore there in position number 3 as they roll 1, 2, and 3 here on the racetrack. That 12 rider Matthew Morgan. The 67 of Scott Heinrich is right there as well, ready to pounce as he's looking to race his way up towards the front of the field. You see a few of those JBR rides out there on the speedway. One sitting right there with Scott Heinrich is up into position number 4. A little farther back, you do see, I do believe it is the number 14 ride of Justin Bradley there. There's Bradley and his JBR ride rolling right now at about that 13th position. And a little bit farther behind him, you see who was our pole sitter, that 119 ride of Austin Farnham. Farnham in his JBR ride trying to work his way up towards the front of the field here. If he could try to catch up to his teammate right there, the 95 ride that he's looking to battle with for the lucky dog right there in front of him. Not too far away, only a couple cars separating a couple of our lap down drivers. In that lucky dog battle may start to heat up out there on the speedway, so we'll have to wait and see how that's going to play out for him, and if that 95 ride can keep himself once again in that lucky dog position. Farnham though looking to try to jump up and steal that lucky dog away from him here today. It sure says you are in. Oh, baby, I would love that. Hey, anything with golf and vacationing, I'm always in. I'm always in for vacationing, and I'm always in for golf. That is for absolute certain. And to do some PGA Tour courses, oh, man, sign me up all day. All day, baby. It's Matthew Morgan out in front. Matthew leads the way here with Noah Blackwell right there in second. Is that outside lane coming on strong here. The 61 right there trying to race his way back to the front. Same with the 6 ride of Brian Underwood, as you do see that number 2 ride right there. That is Landon Burbage in that orange and black white number 2 machine. Now up and inside the top 10 once again, up into that 6th position as he rolls to the outside of Cody Cash for position number 6 here on the racetrack. As he's working his way up towards the front, you do take a look at Cody Blackmore back there in 8th, Justin Bradley, and now you do see that 119 ride. He's worked his way up and into position number, what would be position number 9 now, as he just went around his teammate Justin Bradley there on the racetrack. But for the 119, that will put him into that free pass position. So for Austin Farnham, if we can get that caution flag or we hit the end of this stage and he stays here in this lucky dog position, he could potentially get himself back onto the lead lap, back into the action, and back into the battle here this evening. As this is still a tight fight, man. I don't know how these guys are hanging on so strong on that outside lane. Really only a 4-car pack up here at the front of the field, rolling the outside groove in there, passing our race leaders. I'm not sure if it's just that outside momentum or if they're just 4 really strong cars working together out there. Use that side draft off the cars to their inside, but they are doing a fantastic job holding pace or even being a little bit quicker than the 18, the 88, the 48 down to their inside here this evening. As all these drivers see them pretty much a freight train outside those 4 on the the outside lane, man, and they are still holding strong, even down these straightaways. They're staying pretty much dead even through the corners. They're actually gaining even a little bit more ground, so I'm not sure if that's just a testament on how good this Aflac car is. You do see the 12 right jump down to the inside, and the 61 just barely clears the nose of Noah Blackwell right there. I think Blackwell may have even had to roll out of it, but he is all over the back bumper of that 61, pushing him down into corner number 1. Blackwell probably not very excited to see these cars in front of him. He thought he had that race lead, thought he had that kind of locked up right there and trying to win this stage. So he's going to have to try to figure out what he needs to do. Is look out, there goes Underwood. Underwood around goes Blackmore. The 14 right collected in as well. The caution flag is back out here in Daytona, and it's our back-to-back champion. Ryan Underwood getting the worst part of it. That whole front nose tore off this bang number 6 right, as that was a big bang right there for him, and unfortunately some heavy damage for the 6, heavy damage for the 14 right of Justin Bradley. We did see a few other drivers like Cody Blackmore also getting collected in this one. Let's take a look back at it, as there's going to be some pushing and shoving back here, and unfortunately I do believe it's Landon Burbage who may give a big shove here to that 6 right and just kind of hooks him right there. I'm not sure how that happened, but nonetheless, you can kind of see the 2 car. We take a look back at this. So see how the 2 car and the 6, they're not perfectly squared up right here. The 2 car is going to get to the back bumper. He moves down a little bit to the left of the back bumper of the 6 ride, and then you see him kind of go back to center of the 6. I think that's what hooks him right there. So as he's glued to the back bumper, and just that little bit of movement, going that, 5, 6, 7 inches to that right-hand side, unfortunately, that's what kind of just pushes this 6 right around, gets him unbalanced, and it kind of just hooks him around right here. Unfortunately, bounces down off of that number 40 or 84 ride. Then he's going to get some damage into it. You see the 119 right of Farnham. Farnham was in the lucky dog position. The 14 right of Justin Bradley runs in and over top of that 84 machine, and some pretty solid damage for quite a few drivers right there. Landon Burbage, the 6 right here of Underwood. We saw that 84 ride get some pretty solid damage there as well. Austin Farnham getting tied up in it. Bradley getting tied up in it. And unfortunately, Cody Blackmore getting a lot of damage right there as well. Blackmore just really nowhere for him to go, and just getting completely kind of taken out on this one. He's just kind of minding his own P's and Q's, rolling in behind his teammates, and then bam! Right into that passenger side door, turned around, then gets ran over right there. Big hit to the driver's side door, and a lot of damage for that Gamble machine. And unfortunately, take a look at this car, trying to get it back down and point it in the right direction, trying to get it back down pit side. It is crab walking. Obviously, a lot of damage. This rear end probably completely busted on this car, as this thing is not pointed in the right direction, and trying to just crab walk it back down pit road. He's going to have to use his quick repair here early on this evening. I don't think that's going to be a quick trip down pit road to get this thing repaired the old-fashioned way. Look at this car. He's virtually drifting around these corners here. He's drifting at the high banks, and right there you do see the 77 Ryan. That's a great break for Ryan Haller. For Haller to try to come out of this with some stage points or anything else, that's what he needed. He had lost that draft, had fallen all the way back outside the top 25, had no drafting help, and was at potential risk of going a lap down here himself. But with that caution flag, that puts him right back into the battle here today. So that's a great break there for him, as out in front, now leading this race, it's the 48 rider, Cody Cash. Cody Cash out in front here. Some drivers elected not to come down pit side. Other drivers do come down pit road right here on lap number 35, getting fuel, getting tires, anything else that they may desire. As we saw Cody Cash, Applegate, and Caden Gargiulo, our top 3, stay out on the racetrack. They did not come down pit road. They did not take fuel right there. That's going to make things very, very questionable for them, especially for the 48 rider, Cody Cash. Cody came down pit road before that first caution flag around lap number 18, and did not come back down during our first stage break there. Did not come back down pit road during that second caution flag or this third caution flag. So fuel could get very, very tight for this Lowe's Pro number Number 48 riding a quick hurry. We'll have to wait and see if he can try to capture tonight's second stage win or not. But he's going to have Matthew Morgan, a car that just came down pit side, got fuel, and rolling back out there now into that fourth position. Frank Hughes, Noah Blackwell, Sean Jensick, Dylan Carrier. All these drivers back behind our top three all have fuel. They can all make it to the end of the stage. None of them have to worry about fuel or making a green flag pit stop out there on the speedway. As you do see the two ride coming back down pit road, getting some more repairs and damage fixed here for the Prince's Towing number 2 ride. Austin Farnham also down pit road right there. Same with Benjamin Romano. Now for Farnham, getting tied up in that yellow flag, getting tied up in that wreck. Unfortunately, he was in that free pass position, but being tied up in that yellow flag, Iron Racing will not give him the lucky dog. It will go to the next driver one lap down, which will be the 95 ride of Matthew Skrlak. So Skrlak finally getting himself that lucky dog, finally back onto the lead lap here this evening. Now, good news for the 119 or the 9 ride of Benjamin Romano. Both of these drivers are a lap down out there on the racetrack, the 119 and that 9 ride. Now, they can duke it out between each other. Is this stage going to come to a close here in a quick hurry? So that's going to be a lot of fun. As Anna says, maybe you can take a nap while you're in Florida. Oh, man, I would be taking so many naps in Florida. So many naps. Between the golfing, the hot sun, and the partying, yeah, there's definitely going to be some, what do we want to, siestas? There's definitely going to be a few siestas out there, okay? We're definitely going to be taking a few siestas, those midday breaks, those midday naps, 100%. That's 100% going to happen. I wish I could take siestas every day now. They should make that mandatory. Even if you're at work, every day between 1 to 3 is a mandatory siesta where you get a little break in. It's not really lunch, but you can eat. You can kind of sleep a little bit, chillax, watch a YouTube video or two, maybe watch a movie. A little midday siesta would be perfect for everybody, I think. That's how the world would solve, world wars, everything else. They would all end right there. Everyone will be happy. As here we go, back to green flag racing. Cody Cash down the inside, sees that green flag fly as the 57 of Grant Applegate works there to his outside. So Applegate trying to put himself at the front of the field here. Both of these drivers at the front, including the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo, on different fuel strategies here. Did not come down pit road right there. They may get tight on fuel before the end of this stage, and that could be very, very interesting here this evening, to say the least. If something happens, if one of these drivers later in this run, if they run out of fuel here, especially being at the front of the pack, it could cause quite a bit of issues, especially if you're one of those drivers that maybe get stuck in the middle when you start to run out, or just anything that could potentially happen could end up very, very bad in a quick hurry. As you do see that number 12 rider Matthew Morgan pushes Grant Applegate out in front, but now you do see Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, and that Optic Gaming number 24 ride of Jordan Hand. Hand's worked his way now up inside the top 10 here this evening. Good to see Jordan Hand up there looking to try to earn some stage points here today himself, as the 18 gets a little loose there, a little bit of a wiggle down the back straightaway. Looked like Carrier had to kind of check up, back out of it there a little bit as they try to pick up this 57 of Grant Applegate. Is Applegate now right there in front of him in that inside lane, though. Steamrolling ahead, Matthew Morgan now leads the way as the Affleck ride at the front of the field. Matthew Morgan has this race lead. Cody Cash, though, looking to take it back away from him. It's Cody Cash who will lead lap 39 here this evening at Daytona International Speedway. So Cody Cash out in front, but here comes Applegate. Steamrolling back around the outside, will leave the outside lane, jump back down in front of Cody. Cody will have to see if he can get that Lowe's Pro 48 ride back up and around him. Looks like he'll jump to the outside groove. Got a good run there off quarter number 2. Now looks to get the 18 to his back bumper. They try to push him back out in front. Some great racing here to potentially finish off stage number 2 this evening. My gosh, these guys are giving everything they got out there on the racetrack, and we inch closer and closer to the end of stage number 2 as Noah Blackwell down through the tri-oval going to beat Cody Cash back down across the line. So Blackwell out in front, and his teammate, the 88, Dylan Carrier, going to go right down to the inside with him here. Now here comes Jordan Hand looking to try to take his hand to the front of the field here, looking to put that off the gaming right out in front as he's getting a good push here from the 25 to the 24. 25 knows the tail out there on the racetrack trying to navigate their way to the front. Look who's right behind him. That 76 ride, Farrell Robbins, working his way back up here towards the front. So Farrell Robbins working his way back to the point here, trying to put himself out in front as the 91 ride going to go with him. Sean Jensick and Farrell Robbins both leave the outside lane, both jump down to the inside, and now for Sean Jensick, he's got a couple of his Carrier Motorsports teammates right there on his back bumper as the 25, the 76 both move up. The 24 throws a bit of a block right there. Jordan Hand's able to lead that lap, and now Connolly looking to try to take that race lead away from him. As sure says, I'm in for 1 to 3 nap. Yeah, 100%. 1 to 3 naps, a little siesta, midday siesta. That I think that works out perfect. Honestly, that or 4-day work weeks. 4-day work weeks. Every weekend should be a 3-day weekend. Listen. If you guys want to vote Peacemaker for president, I'll make these changes. I will make these changes. It starts here with 21 viewers or whatever we're at right now. I don't even know what we're at, 30, 40, something like that. I'm not sure what exactly it's at, but it starts with you guys, and we get enough steamroll in here. We're putting some good points on the table. Potentially, Peacemaker for president. I'll run. I'll do it. I'll put myself in office just for you guys, man. 1 to 3. Always a siesta for everybody, and or 4-day work weeks. Everyone gets a long weekend every single weekend. That's it. That ends everything. That makes everyone happy. Everyone's gonna be living the good life. No more income tax. No more income tax. That's gone too. No more income tax. We get rid of that. We scrap that. More fun, more money, more health and happiness for everybody. That's all we want, baby. That's all we want. I'll put us there. It's Connolly out in front. He's put himself right here at the front of the field. He's looking to maybe not take a siesta here this evening. He is all prepped and ready, trying to put himself up at the front of the field and looking for a party here at the end of this 100-lap feature event. But we get closer and closer to the end of stage number 2. And look who's here now at the front of the field. It's the first time we've seen him up here inside the top 10, top 5 all evening long. It's that 16 of Matthew Wood. Matthew Wood in the AMP machine up to the front here as he's now in position number 3. Matthew Wood pushing that 72 of Jonathan Gaston out in front. It's nice and easy down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. They'll steamroll back down into the tri-oval here at Daytona International Speedway as they're starting to build up 3 wide back there behind them. Oh, baby, it's on like Donkey Kong here this evening as they're 3 wide racing here at Daytona. This is the final lap of stage number 2. So a bonus playoff point, 10 points to the regular season, and everyone inside the top 10 also earning some points here on the day. This could make or break your evening. Could take a bad finish and make it good. Could take a bad finish and make it even worse if you don't end up with some stage points here this evening. So all these drivers trying to race their way up towards the front, looking to try to get the stage win or just trying to get themselves some good stage points. As you take a look at that 48 ride, that's Cody Cash. Cody goes a lap down. They're 4 wide. Contact around goes Jordan Head. Look out, upside down goes the 9 ride. They're wrecking down it at corner number 4. The caution flag is out, and it's Jonathan Gaston who picks up the stage win. The G-Man, the Old Dogs Racing number 72 ride, picks up stage win number 2 here this evening. Connolly, Matthew Wood, Danny White, Farrell Robbins, the Old Dogs Racing crew up at the front of the field is Jensick, Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, Scott Heinriches, and Matthew Morgan going to round out our top 10. But there was some major issues here as we saw Cody Cash, unfortunately, probably about 5 laps or so ago, had to come down pit side. We talked about that fuel and how close he was going to be on it. Unfortunately, he clearly could not make it to the end here on fuel, and that made things very, very interesting in a quick hurry as Cody Unfortunately, going a lap down here. He's by himself, has no drafting help, so he's much slower than this lead pack. So they're catching up to him in a quick hurry out there on the racetrack. You see the 25 Ryder Connolly making a great move up to the outside lane here to avoid him. The 24 ride tries to do the same thing here. Now, unfortunately, as that's happening, 79 ride of I do believe that's Danny White. He's going to poke his nose in there as well. They go 4 wide, and it just does not work. They do not have enough room for the 48 and the 79. They make a little bit of contact, which puts the 48 up and into the 24, and then look at the 9 ride. Really nowhere for him to go. Look at that car get airborne right there. Contact damage for the 119. You see Applegate in there, the 21 with some heavy damage. Aiden Lucas in it, and Melvin Brangruer. A lot of drivers getting some heavy contact right here. A lot of tore-up race cars, the 14 into it. You see Brangruer down into the inside wall pretty heavily right there. Oh, man, a lot of tore-up race cars. 61 ride going around there as well. He was having such a good day, such a good car here this evening. But, man, that is a lot of tore-up race cars in a quick hurry here. As that could have been the big one here this evening. Let's see if we can get another look at it here. As let's jump on board here with the 57 ride of Applegate. Applegate sees it happening, sees that 24 ride go around, and they just start piling up right here in front of him. Yeah, nowhere to go. Look at the 84 contact. More contact there for Jordan Hand. The 61. Heavy damage down the inside wall for the 15 ride there of Aiden Lucas. Aiden really just nowhere for him to go right there either. Really nothing that he could do. Just kind of wrong place, wrong time, trying to roll that 3rd lane, and all of a sudden, parking lot right here in front of him, and some pretty solid contact for him. Pretty heavy damage there. That's where you see the 14 get tied up in it as well. Heavy damage for him as he backs it into the inside fence. And so many cars, so many good drivers right there just getting tore up out there on the racetrack. And that is Daytona International Speedway. That is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. That is plate racing, and unfortunately, a lot of times, things that are out of your control can put you back behind pit wall and out of the race in a quick hurry. As we do take a look at Applegate. Applegate still down pit road, still getting repairs done to that 57 ride. Cody Cash trying to roll back out there. Now, Cody does have significant damage still on this ride. Hopefully, he's still got that quick repair. Hopefully the crew can get this car fixed up back into one piece, as that Lowe's Pro ride has seen a whole lot better days for Benjamin Romano. He's got to be hoping the same thing. He's got to hope he's still got that quick repair and can get this Amazon Prime ride fixed back up and back into one piece. But as of right now, not looking very good for Austin Farnham. I do believe he will get potentially the lucky dog and back on the lead lap here. We'll have to wait and see, or maybe he'll get the wave around here. Nonetheless, he'll get ready to go back to battle. He'll get ready to duke it out. Is out in front of the field. It is now the 95 ride of Matthew Skurlak. Skurlak was a lap down not too long ago. Was able to just get that free pass the lucky dog and back on the lead lap here this evening as he rolls there in position number 1 now. Gaston, Danny White, Dylan Carrier, Landon Burbage, the 12 of Matthew Morgan, Connolly, Matthew Wood, Frank Hughes Jr., Scott Heinrich is there, our top 10 on the racetrack, getting ready to go back to battle here, and a lot of drivers just trying to get their cars repaired, trying to get things rolling here once again, and getting ready for another big restart here this evening. Anna says, you got my vote. Sure says, mine too. We need more kind people like you. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You're going to make me blush up here, Mrs. Oliver. You're going to make me blush. Come on now. As here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. And for Matthew, man, what a rebound for a driver that was a lap down, trying to keep himself out of trouble, trying to keep that car rolling here, and just trying to get that lucky dog for so many laps, and unfortunately getting tied up in a few more issues, just getting tied up in other caution flags. Kind of blocked him from getting those lucky dogs, blocked him from getting back onto the lead lap, but now finally getting himself back onto the lead lap, and now racing his way up to the front of the field here. Sitting in a pretty good position and could potentially be in a spot to maybe win this race. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out for that Wyoming Whiskey, Wyoming University 95 ride. I got a sneaky suspicion that this 95 ride is from Wyoming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not 100% sure, but I would have to say whatever state he was born or raised in or still living in right now, I'm going to say he's got something to do with Wyoming, that's for certain. As here he goes, getting ready to see that green flag fly as stage number 1, stage number 2 into the history books. Our third and final stage is underway here this evening at Daytona International Speedway. 52 laps of racing action left to go here this evening, and it's our stage 2 winner, Jonathan Gaston, able to get a good run, good push, and back out in front of the field here as he jumps down low in front of that 95 ride. Dylan Carrier, though, trying to whirl that outside lane. Carrier was able to pick up the win here at Daytona last Saturday night in our Dash for Cash here this evening, as we do have another Dash for Cash here this evening as well. So for a lot of these drivers, another Dash for Cash out there, another opportunity to try to win some money here this evening. I do believe it's another $130 payday. That is absolutely insane. Another $130 payday for one of our Dash for Cash drivers. Whoever is the farthest forward Dash for Cash driver, doesn't mean they have to win it, but if they can put themselves into a position to potentially win this race or win that Dash for Cash. When we look through our Dash for Cash drivers, it's Cody Cash, Jonathan Gaston, Sean Jensick, Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, the number 7 of Caden Gargiulo, Applegate, Landon Burbage, Ben Gleason, Jordan Hand, Matthew Morgan, Frank Hughes, Josh Crider, Farrell Robbins, Justin Bradley, Austin Farnham, Scott. That's true. Scott. Who in the world is Scott? Scott Heinriches, Chris Getz, Cody Blackmore, Melvin Brangruer, I do believe that is Danny White, Matthew Wood, and Jordan Crider, all drivers a part of this Dash for Cash. So there's a lot of drivers that are a part of it. If you can virtually win this race, you know that you win this Dash for Cash. But if you can still keep a lot of these drivers back there behind you, could put yourself into a pretty sizable payday here on a Saturday night. As out in front, it is that 76 of Farrell Robbins. Robbins, man, we saw him pick up this win last season. It was a race that was actually named after him. He had some health issues, a couple of health scares, and we made this race about him to start last season. He was able to make that race, and he jumps out and ended up winning that race. It was such a, storybook moment for him, and here he is once again at Daytona in our opening race, battling here at the front of the field in position to potentially win another Daytona opener here at the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as he rolls now back in that third position. As the 67 of Scott Heinriches jumps down to his inside. You see that number 84 ride. Cody Blackmore, though, jumping out in front of that outside lane. Noah Blackwell pushing him up there. As we've seen these Carrier Motorsports rides have a ton of speed, and a lot of them jump out in front and have some good runs. Now, we haven't really seen all four of them kind of get tied together here, except for during that first wave of green flag pit stops. But, man, we can see them kind of get bunched together. They may be a dangerous group out there on the racetrack, and they're definitely be looking to be one of those teams to compete and battle for this championship. Not only individual championship, but potentially that team championship as well this season. As all these different teams, all these different drivers take a look back at the Redemption Motorsports team. I'm not sure if this is the actual team, but we do see, I think, 6 drivers in there with Aiden Lucas, Caden Gargiulo, Applegate, Jordan Hand, I believe part of that team, Burbage and Matthew Wood, I believe are part of a different team here, but a lot of different teams, a lot of new faces in new places, and they're all looking to try to put themselves into a position to potentially try to win these team points. Oh, baby, things are getting squirrely there. Look out. My gosh, that got way too close for a few of these drivers, including that 67 of Heinriches, including that 76 of Farrell Robbins, as things got a little bit wild down and out at corner number 3, and we do see the caution flag come back out. The caution flag does come back out. I'm not sure if that was stemmed from some of the issues we saw here towards the front of the field, but nonetheless, I do believe it is Matthew Wood in the 16 right here. So this is virtually right behind where we saw some of these issues. So watch this inside lane right here. Farrell Robbins gives a big shove to that 67 ride, and it kind of just gets them a little bent out of shape here. 14 ride tries to jump down in front of his teammate. Farrell Robbins ends up into the 91 ride there, Sean Jensick, and it kind of gets things just stacked up. Unfortunately, Matthew Wood doesn't get checked up quick enough, ends up driving into the back end of the 88 ride here, Dylan Carrier. And as they do that, the 77 kind of trying to keep himself in that middle groove. The 16, after making contact with the 88, just looks like he doesn't turn right here virtually. Gets into the back end of the 88, and it just shoves his car still up the racetrack and right into that second lane, right into Ryan Haller's lap here. That puts the 16 up into the outside fence. The 77 going to get a piece of him again there as they just get tied together. And around goes Matthew Wood. A couple front fenders and body panels bouncing around right there. And some pretty solid damage for the Amp Energy number 16 ride, as he'll have to try to get that thing down pit road here. Trying to get that thing back into gear and hopefully back down pit road to get some repairs. Obviously, pretty heavy hit right there for Matthew Wood. As we'll get them all stacked up. We'll get them all racked up and ready to try to go back to Green Flag Racing here. Once again, as that's going to open up pit lane, and we're going to see everybody come down pit road. Everyone looking for that fuel. Everyone wanting to put themselves into a better fuel mileage position here. As, you see the 84 ride right there. A little too far in his pit stall. Unfortunately, I had to back it up. That's going to cost him quite a few positions out there on pit road. As we take a look at some of these other drivers like Noah Blackwell, first car off of pit lane, so great run right there down pit side for Noah Blackwell. Danny White, Justin Bradley, Connolly there in position number 4. Blackmore comes out in that 5th position, so that slight mistake down pit side, and unfortunately for the 84, slides all the way back into position number 5. Melvin Brengruer there in 6th. Scott Heinrich is back in 7th. Sean Jensick, Farrell Robbins, and Dylan Carrier, our top 10, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton here. Hit that like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the like button on the stream. Hit that subscribe button as well. Hit that sub button. Become a part of the Peacemaker family here today. Turn those bell notifications on, that way you never miss it when we go Green Flag Racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. And a new feature here for a lot of these drivers as well are those top banners, man. They're looking fresh. You see the amazing paint schemes here on all these cars, but obviously those new top banners, we love that, man. The Premium Stock Car Racing League logos there, presented by Peacemaker Gaming. We love to see our name on all these cars and have all these amazing drivers rolling out there on the racetrack and looking to put themselves up into victory lane, and having our names on these cars, man, always a special thing, man. We appreciate the admin crew. We appreciate all the drivers that put those onto their race cars, and not only support of the league, but in support of your boy as well. As these guys, they don't run these paint schemes not only just in this series, they run them in their officials, they run them when they're in different leagues as well, and we appreciate them having those logos on the car as we get them ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to battle. As Anna says, come on Landon, come on number 16. Cheering on Matthew Wood as well here this evening. So here we go. We'll get them stacked up. We'll get them racked up. We'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Let's see if we can quickly pull Noah Blackwell up here into the Discord for a little in-race interview before we get that green flag back out there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can find him, see if we can get him up here into the booth. Pull him into here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race leader, Noah Blackwell. Let's get him up here. Hey, Noah, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
All right, you got a copy.
Noah, brother, out in front, leading the way here, but obviously early on getting tied up in a couple issues. I'm assuming already using that quick repair. How are you feeling out there on the racetrack, knowing that you got virtually about 46 laps left to go here, 44 laps left to go when we go back to Green Flag Racing?
Yeah, actually, I didn't use it. I kind of saved it because I know I'm going to need it later on in the race towards the end. But, yeah, toying around there when I got up to the front, I figured out that the high line, if you just manage the gap, you'll just pull away. So I'm hoping that I can get my teammates up here and we can get this win, get that money.
Absolutely. Get that money, get that win. Obviously, we saw Dylan Carrier get the win here last Saturday, and he's been looking strong. The whole team's been looking strong. How you guys feeling going throughout this season?
So far, so good.
Beauty. Well, we look forward to seeing if you guys can pick up the dub here in our first points race of the year. Noah, good luck out there. Have some fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the booth in just a little bit.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our race leader, Noah Blackwell, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. We get ready to duke it out here again this evening as each and every one of these drivers try to put themselves up and into victory lane, but only one driver will be able to do so here this evening. We'll have to wait and see who that can be, as the 18 ride, I'm not sure what was going on here. The 14 was laying back quite a bit out there on the racetrack. I'm not sure what the game plan was there, or whether he was trying to do that, or what the game plan was, but nonetheless, he's going to fall back quite a few positions here for Justin Bradley off that restart. And for the 18 ride, he's hoping to see his teammates take advantage of it, jump up here, try to battle with them, try to get back into this hunt at the front. As you see some big moves into the 25, he's going to be able to work to the outside here with Noah Blackwell. Blackwell now shoved into the middle here, and he is sliding backwards. Oh, baby, heartbreaker there for Noah Blackwell as he continues to fall back farther and farther and farther here on the racetrack, just shoved in the middle of the two lanes. Really no dancing partners here with him yet, and unfortunately is now kind of right in the middle and just outside of our top 10 now on the Speedway. That is definitely not a fun spot to be out there on the racetrack, and he continues to fall back as that outside lane continues to work around him. It looks like he may be able to find a hole right there in front of Ryan Holler and get back into this two-lane battle. He'll have to try to see if he can work his way back up towards the front. He's not going to be very happy about that one, but nonetheless, we keep on duking it out here this evening as Connolly now leads this race. Connolly in the 19 of Melvin Brengruer, 1 and 2 with Danny White to their outside. The 79 ride, the beautiful machine here. New paint scheme here for him as he's looking to try to put himself to the front of the field, and one of the newest drivers here on the series, Sean Jensick in the Sparkle and Shine Anything EC91 machine right there in position number 2. He's got his teammate there in the Carrier Motorsports 88 ride onto his back bumper, as that is Dylan Carrier in position number 3. As the great racing here at Daytona continues to rage on, these drivers continue to look to try to find their way up and into victory lane. We'll have to wait and see who can put themselves up and into the top spot here this evening, as we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what we want you to do right now is crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Caution flag on the racetrack. You saw it here live. Yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag out there on the speedway. Right in the mix of our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up out there on the racetrack. We were running on board there with Dylan Carrier. Dylan able to stay away from it and was back behind him. Luckily enough, he's able to keep himself out of that trouble and able to keep on battling here without any issues. So he'll get a little bit of a break in. He'll get ready to rumble here once again, as we'll take a look back and see what brings this yellow flag out. As some issues back behind him there for a couple drivers that really just had nothing to do right there with this one, man. They were kind of just wrong place, wrong time, and I do believe it starts with the 12 right here. I believe that's who I saw. I'm pretty sure we saw the 12 of Matthew Morgan. Kind of right in the middle of 3 wide here. So take a look here at Matthew Morgan. He's in the middle of 3 wide. The 14 right looks like he kind of pushes up the racetrack right there on corner exit, which gets into the 12, who washes him up the racetrack right into the lap there of our Stage 2 winner, Jonathan Gaston. Nowhere to go for Gaston, nowhere to go for Landon Burbage, as Burbage ends up getting a little bit of damage out of that. Not too much, as he just gets into the back end of that 72 ride. But you see the 12 and the 72 tied together in that outside fence, and then it just creates this scramble back here behind him. Everyone trying to find their way through it. Unfortunately, we're going to see James Efa, and I do believe another couple drivers here kind of get tied up right there. So the 76 and the 21 end up making contact, as the 77, the 76, they see this happen in front of them. They get checked up. The 21 doesn't check up quick enough, gets into the back end of the 76. Then the 76 out of control, washes back up into that AC Delco 21 right, which puts him and James Efa up and into the outside fence. So tough break right there for James, tough break for Farrell Robbins. Obviously some pretty heavy damage there for the 12 machine and for the 72 ride. Let's see if we can jump on board there. We were on board with Jonathan Gaston for a few laps. Let's see if we can jump back on board with him here and see if we can catch this one live, as he's rolling down through quarter 3 and 4, just feeling fine, feeling good here. He's in behind his Old Dogs Racing teammate, blinking a little bit right there, but nonetheless, here he comes, and here's the contact down to the inside. 12 right there, watches up the track right over his nose. Nowhere for him to go, nothing he can do, just roll out of that throttle, gear down, ride the brakes here, and probably not as much damage for the 72 as what that's number 12 Ryan got. Obviously heavy damage there for that Aflac machine, and hopefully he's got that Aflac insurance on speed dial here, as he's going to need it. His driver is going to use that to head down pit road, make a pit stop, get some more fuel into their race cars, and get ready for another big restart here this evening. And now, with these pit stops being around lap number 66, that brings into the question here, these guys are probably good to go with one more pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. So one more pit stop on the horizon, as Sean Jensick, Dylan Carrier, 1 and 2 on the racetrack here. Those are Carrier Motorsports teammates at the front of the field. Frank Hughes Jr. rolling there in 3rd with Danny White back in 4th. Then we see Melvin Brangerer, Noah Blackwell, the number 25 of William Connolly, Justin Bradley, and his JBR machine in position number 8. Cody Blackmore and Scott Heinrich is rounding out our top 10 here this evening. Caden Gargiulo, Matthew Skrlak there in 12th, Ryan Haller, Landon Burbage, Brian Underwood, Jordan Hand there in 16th, Austin Farnham back on the lead lap. He rolls there in 17th, Aiden Lucas there in 18th. Then we see Benjamin Romano back on the lead lap as well there in 19th. Jordan Crider, we haven't seen too much out of Jordan here this evening, but we're going to see a lot of drivers that have been hanging out here deeper in the field, slowly but surely navigate their way back up here towards the front. When we look at this 33 ride, he's been kind of taking it easy here. Him and his brother Josh Crider have been taking it fairly easy, trying to keep themselves out of trouble, trying to keep themselves out of carnage here this evening. It's worked well up to this point. They still got quick repairs in their back pocket and still have an opportunity to jump into this battle late in this race. We'll have to wait and see when it's go time here for that Mustang, as we do see him, Chris Getz, Ben Gleason coming back down pit road, Farrell Robbins there in 23rd, as here comes Josh Crider also back down pit side. So Crider heads back down pit road here in his Toxic Waste Candy number 5 ride down pit side. The 72 of Jonathan Gaston back down pit road. There's Matthew Morgan back down pit side, looking to get repairs done to their race cars. James Efa also back down pit side, as Cody Cash back in 30th. He's going to get the waiver out here, the lucky dog. Unfortunately for Cody Cash, he is a lot of laps down here. A lot of laps down. He's currently on lap number 53, where our race leaders are on lap number 67. So he's only roughly about, I don't know what, I don't even know what that is, 13, 14 laps down, something like that. I think it's he's going to be on lap 54. They'll be on lap 67. Yeah, he's going to be about 13 laps down. Unfortunately, going to need a lot more caution flags, a lot more issues, and obviously not the way he wanted things to start here this season, as 84 got off to a hot start, had that third-place run last week in our shootout, and unfortunately, not the same plan that he had drew up here this evening. Ran into some issues, had some problems, ended up getting tore up out there. Untimely caution flags, untimely pit stops for him, and it just kind of got this Lowe's Pro ride stuck back here deep in the field. And same with James Efall. A lot of these other drivers just trying to rebound or trying to keep themselves still in contention here. For James Efall, he is a lap down here. He's the first car currently a lap down still on the racetrack, but he needs to get rolling out there on the racetrack here very, very quickly before he potentially goes another lap down, as our race leaders about to roll out at corner number 4. They're about to see this green flag come back out. So for Sean Jensick, Dylan Carrier out in front leading this race. They're ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here in this one. What's good, JC coming in, showing the love here. Jace McElroy coming in, showing the love here. Says, hi guys, hey, how are you? How you doing? Hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. Here we go, back to green flag racing. Big restart right there for Sean Jensick. Jensick with a big jump there on that restart. My gosh, he got fired off in a quick hurry. Will now jump up into his teammates' arms here as the 88 of Dylan Carrier will pick him up. The outside lane will get rocking and rolling as that inside groove trying to hang strong with them, as we'll jump back into our Peacemaker Gaming, crank it up here for a few more laps. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we still crank it up. Look out, contact, and around goes the 84. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. So the caution flag will strike again here on lap number 70 here this evening. Heavy damage there for the 84 ride, and unfortunately that will tow him down pit side. And already using that quick repair, maybe heartbreak here for the 84 ride, as I do believe that may take Cody Blackmore out of this race, man. Heartbreak for him. There may be a few other drivers getting tied up in this one that may end up with some pretty heavy damage out there on the speedway. Let's take a look at it, as I do believe this happens right with this 84 ride. Maybe some contact in front of him as he looks to get to his teammate's back bumper. Kind of gets him broken up a little bit. He tries to slide back up in front of the 7 ride here, Caden Gargiulo. Unfortunately, Gargiulo coming in with some speed, was not lined up perfectly with that 84, and it kind of just hooks this 84 ride over the front bumper of the 7, and that gets him up into the outside fence. And you see the 14 ride bounced in there, and he's got nowhere to go, kind of just stuck right into it as he gets tied up in it. A little contact there for Brian Underwood. Oh man, 95 ride, heavy damage in that as well. The 119, the 14. Some pretty good damage there for teammates down the bottom side of the racetrack as they go sliding down the back stretch and in through that back stretch chicane and through the grass here, and heavy damage for a lot of these drivers, man. And for this camel ride, unfortunately, for the 84, already using that quick repair, looks like his night may be done. That right front completely busted up. Heavy damage all around this car. Not driving straight, and I think he knows it, and he honestly just takes that car right down pit side and off of the speedway, man. That's a heartbreak there for him. Let's play this back and take another look at it as he kind of moves from that outside lane here. They kind of move around a little bit off of corner number 2, and you watch them right here kind of come back up into the 7. That's where that contact happens, and then this is where it's on like Donkey Kong, and unfortunately heavy damage. See that right front tire just absolutely rolled over right there. That is going to cause a ton of damage for him. Let's see if we can jump on board with the man. The 14 ride had a tough spot out there on the racetrack. He's right in behind these guys. He was able to watch it happen. He was trying to keep himself out of it. Unfortunately, just kind of ends up with nowhere to go, and that's Daytona International Speedway. That's plate racing, as he's right in behind him, not expecting anything to happen. He'll all of a sudden right there, and you don't even have enough time to react before he knows it. He's going down through the infield, making contact with his teammate with the 7 ride, getting some pretty serious damage there on his race car as well, as that will put us back under another yellow flag. As you see the 84 still down pit side, looks like his night may be done, and we'll get all these drivers ready to go back to battle, ready to go back to war here this evening. For James Efa, also down pit side, actually you hear that motor blow, heavy damage, heavy smoke out of that 21. His night might be done here as well. Oh no, that could have been a catastrophic error there for the AC Delco 21 machine. We'll have to wait and see if he can even rejoin the field. As of right now, he has not rolled a lap since lap 66, and unfortunately looks like his day may be over as well. And as we see more and more of these caution flags, more and more of these drivers getting tore up out there on the racetrack, more of these guys are using those quick repairs. They get tied up in another issue, another wreck. They're night could be over, man. Once that quick repair is gone and you get a big hit onto your race car, your night may be over in a quick hurry. As Sean Jensick, Dylan Carrier, Danny White, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway. Frank Hughes Jr. there in 4th with Noah Blackwell there in position number 5. Then we see Melvin Brengerer, Jordan Hand, Benjamin Romano, Matthew Morgan, and William Connolly are top 10 out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can get one of these drivers up here into the booth for a little in-race interview here. Let's see who we can find, who's someone that's near us here. Let me see here. Well, let's see if we can jump on board with our 4th place driver here, Frank Hughes Jr. Frank's been having himself a pretty solid day here. He's been battling up towards the front. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth real quick. Hey, Frank, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
How's it going, Aaron?
Not too bad, Frank. Man, so far a pretty strong run here for you. Got tied up in a couple issues out there, but nonetheless, you're right up here inside the top 5, battling and looking to try to put yourself up and into victory lane, man. Take us back through this race so far and how you feeling out there on the racetrack with a opportunity to potentially put yourself into victory lane.
Feel pretty comfortable. Just got to make it to the end. Couple crazy moves being made out here, but nothing that nobody can handle. Just trying to ride it out to the end. That's it.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's survival of the fittest out there, and just trying to make it to the end of these races is the toughest challenge here when it comes to super speedways. But so far, being at the front of the field has seemed like the safer place to be, and for the most part, it's worked out perfectly here for you this afternoon, as we've seen you at the front of the field leading some laps and being here inside the top 5, top 10 for most of this race is going to feel pretty good and build that confidence up for late in this race.
Yeah, I definitely have some confidence built up. The guys that I'm running around, I'm pretty confident around them as well. They seem to be able to handle a push and give pushes, so hopefully we're all around each other at the end, and we could go for a win.
Absolutely, brother. Well, good luck out there. Have some fun, and Frank, hopefully we see you back up here in the booth at the end of the night.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, get up there for Frank Hughes Jr. as he'll get ready to rock and roll here from position number 4, trying to put that 61 ride up and into victory lane here this evening. As we'll get them all ready to rumble here once again. Who is it going to be? Who will find their way into victory lane? Is down through the Geico restart zone. The 91 is Sean Jensick. Again, another great restart there over his teammate Dylan Carrier. Carrier trying to hold on to position number 2. 2 will have his teammates lined up in front of him here as they got another one of their teammates back there, the 18 rider Noah Blackwell. They would love to try to get the 3 of them lined up and working together here late in this race. Unfortunately for that team, they've lost one of their teammates as Cody Blackmore still down pit side. Looks like his night is over. Looks like the 95 ride potentially done for this evening, as well as James Efos. So we have 3 drivers down pit side and potentially their nights being done here this evening. That's a tough way to start this season, being down pit road. But with this being a super speedway, it's kind of one of those wild card races where anything can happen. Your night can be taken away from you. A good race can be gone in a flash. We've seen it time and time again, especially late in these races where you get tied up, you get tore up, even potentially on that last lap. You go from a top 10 run, maybe even a win, to coming back, 20th, 30th position and just not getting the day that you are, planning or hoping for or potentially having position for until later on this evening. So a lot of times it's just all about surviving, being there at the end, trying to give yourself that position and give yourself the best possibility to pick up a dub here this evening. It sure says, come on, 77. It's Caster Plains. What's good, Caster? Caster says, what's up, buddy? What's up, Caster? How are you, my dude? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. Says, I missed my chance to sign up for this league, I'm guessing. Probably. I'm not sure if they're still taking more people on or not, but I'm not 100% sure. That's above my pay grade, brother. That's above my pay grade. I'm just up here in the booth. I have nothing to do on the admin side of things when it comes to these leagues, man. I don't deal with any of that stuff. I have no idea. They do their own stuff. They do their own recruiting and everything else, so I don't really do too much on that side of things. It sure says, come on, 77, cheering on Mr. Holler out there on the racetrack is Brian Carrier. What's good, Brian? Brian in the chat here. He's cheering on that 88 ride, wanting to see his son up and into victory lane here for back-to-back weeks. Is Dylan Carrier right there in position number 2, pushing his teammate, the 91 of Sean Jensick here at the front of the field. Now, we saw this exact same scenario for the 88 and the 91 last Saturday night. Dylan Carrier, there was a wreck coming to that white flag. They were able to keep themselves out in front of it and out of that trouble. And unfortunately for Cody Cash, he kind of sat there in that 3rd position, virtually where the 19 ride is right now, and really didn't have a shot at it. He couldn't really find the run that he needed. But for Dylan Carrier, he was able to get a big run here on Sean Jensick on that final lap. Only a couple hundred meters away from that start-finish line. Actually stole the win away from his teammate in that 91 machine. Now, I'm sure for Sean, he probably didn't mind it being a non-points race, and it was still a teammate of his, but I think here with this first points race of the season, he may be a little less pleased if that same move happens again out there on the racetrack, and I'm sure he's going to have that move in the back of his mind. He's seen it happen before. He does not want to see it happen again here today, but they are working well together to start this season, as once again, they're at the front of the pack and trying to put themselves in position to win this race as they will click off lap number 78, and we get 22 more laps left to go here this evening. So 22 more laps of racing action here in our season points opener with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As each and every one of these drivers trying to pick up the dub here today. Sean Jensick, Frank Hughes Jr., 1 and 2 there on the Speedway. Good to see Danny White having himself a good day as well. He's had that 79 ride right up here in the battle at the front of the field as the Gaston's iRacing Graphics ride rolls there in position number 4. The 19 ride, that is the Shark Ninja machine to the outside. That is Melvin Brenger. Then you see the 18 machine and the 9 ride of Benjamin Romano. Talking about another driver having a great comeback here to this evening. We saw Romano get tied up in an earlier incident, went a lap down for the Amazon Prime ride. He was back there a lap down for quite a while. Was able to get back into contention here, back onto the lead lap with the Lucky Dog, and now here he is up inside the top 10, looking to try to race his way inside the top 5. Is there 3 wide right there behind him? Oh, baby! This is the racing we like to see. 3 wide battling out there on the racetrack, man. This is a ton of fun as you do see the 18 just be able to slide down across the nose there of that 6 ride. Unfortunately, that's going to move Connolly kind of into the middle by himself, and for Connolly, that's going to slide him back here just a little bit. He may have to try to find a hole in behind that 76 ride of Farrell Robbins and try to build up some speed momentum again as that EFF machine's been battling hard here this evening, showing some pretty good speed out of that 25 ride, and we'll have to wait and see if Connolly can make some late race moves trying to get back up into this battle at the front of the field. as we do see the 95 ride rejoin this race. There is Matthew Skrlax. So Skrlax says, my night's not completely done. He got that car repaired. He's back out there on the racetrack. He's going to look to try to at least get some more laps in, maybe see if he can learn as much as he possibly can. As for the 95, he sits back in about that 27th position. Unfortunately, he is about 8 laps down now on the racetrack. 8 laps down. That's a tough spot for him to be, as our last car on the lead lap currently is this 33 ride of Jordan Crider. Unfortunately here for Jordan, he's kind of without the draft here. On that restart, did not restart with the group and fell back quickly. And for the 33 ride, he is no longer in this lead pack here. And that is a tough place to be. You'll see Austin Farnham coming back down pit side here. Austin Farnham with heavy front end damage, trying to rejoin this race. And unfortunately, with that front end damage, looks like it's too strong, too much for him. He's going to take that car down pit side. He was already a lap down. Looks like he may end up going a couple laps down, as that's not a fun place to be out there on the speedway for the number 119 machine, as he's been having a slew of issues here this evening for our pole sitter. Started off so well, but things have went so wrong here on the day for him, and he's just hoping now that his teammates can try to work their way up towards the front and get good finishes here on the evening, as Frank Hughes Jr. looking to take that race lead away from Sean Jensick. They stay door to door as the racing continues to get more and more intense. Is down across the line. Here again, it's the 91, the Anything EC Sparkle and Shine 91 machine of Sean Jensick, who leads the lap here at Daytona. And we see only 18 more laps left to go. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty here in a quick hurry for all these drivers. This race is closing down in a quick fashion here this evening. And being in a position to potentially win this race is what everyone's going to be trying to do, but we still have to worry about fuel. I think we're still going to have to see these drivers make at least one more pit stop here this evening. Now, these drivers, if they came down pit road right now, they would be good to go to the finish of this race. They would not have to make another pit stop here this evening, but the more you can kind of get under your belt, the more laps you can put down here without having to come down pit side, as they should be able to make it somewhere around lap number, I'm going to say 85, 86, somewhere in there. That will put them probably to that 20 lap area. So we'll probably see these drivers in the next, 2 to 3, 4 laps here, probably head down pit road, start making these green flag pit stops. So you should really start to see some teams start to look down to the inside lane here, trying to set themselves up, as we did see one driver already head down pit road, and he also ran into issues. Oh, this is a heartbreaker for Ryan Haller. Haller trying to get into his pit stall right here. Looks like he may lock up the brakes and actually spin this car around. Yes, that's exactly what happens. Spin the tire, spins that car around. Unfortunate break right there for him, as he misses pit box right there. Had to slam onto the brakes, and that gives him some pretty heavy damage here on the 77 as well. Looks like he may have gotten the fence before coming down pit road, as he's got heavy right front damage, and that is a heartbreaker for Ryan Haller on the day. Looks like that may even end his afternoon here this evening. Is out in front, it's Noah Blackwell. Blackwell finding his way to the point here. So Noah Blackwell now leads this race. Sean Jensick, his Carrier Motorsports teammate, right there behind him. Their other teammate back there a little farther back, it's Dylan Carrier. Looks like Dylan kind of sliding back here as the 79 right of Danny White jumps up in front of him. Now you see the 88 jump back down low, but some big moves coming out of that 6 right of Brian Underwood. Underwood trying to put himself into good position, but we're going to start to see more and more drivers wanting to head down pit road, and here we go. We do see Jordan Hand, Grant Applegate, Matthew Wood, Landon Burbage, Caden Gard, Julo, and Aiden Lucas all coming down pit road here together. And it does look like the 14 of Justin Bradley's going to come down pit side with them, but he loses control of the 14 ride. Spins sideways into the inside wall. Potential pit road speeding penalty right there for him, as well, as he came in with a whole head of steam. As these drivers head down pit side, they get their splash of gas and go here. They're hoping that they can stay kind of close together, stay tight together, and continue to lay down good laps here. And if they can get on and off of pit road perfectly together, it may give them a huge advantage here, especially if we see a couple more laps here for these other drivers. But I'm expecting we're probably going to see a whole bunch head down pit road this time by the start-finish line. Here you go. You do see the Carrier Motorsports rides all head down the pit lane, and look out, the 18 ride. Oh, the 19 of Melvin Brangruer coming down pit road with them here. That's going to be a close one right here for Brand Brewer. Brand Brewer coming from a little farther back here. Let's take a look at it as he's coming down pit road as well. He's got a big head of steam here, and I don't know if he gets this thing checked up quickly enough. He's going to pass a bunch of these cars. Just a late call to come down pit road. The 18 was close to being too fast, but the 19 definitely too fast down on the pit road, and he's probably going to get a hold, and there you go. You see it right there. All these other drivers able to roll back out onto the racetrack here in the 19 rod, getting that hold down pit road. That is pretty much going to probably take him out of contention here of this race. As we do see Frank Hughes Jr., the rest of these drivers now elected to come down pit road. Here comes Hughes, here comes Connolly, here comes a couple of these other drivers. They got to be careful. You don't want to get caught speeding, don't want to have an issue. These drivers seem to make it down pit road pretty easily. You do see Josh Crider right there in that mix, the Toxic Crider ride. Actually, I thought it was the Toxic Candy or whatever. What is it? Toxic Waste, but it says Toxic Crider on the side of that car. We love to see that. It's actually hilarious. The Toxic Crider ride down pit road here, as we did see a few drivers stay out right there. They did come down pit road a little later than everyone else. That's Chris Getz and Ben Gleason, so they're kind of out there by their lonesome here, and they got the 14 ride right there in front of them. Maybe they pick him up, maybe they don't. You do see William Connolly rolling back out here. He's got a big gap between himself, Frank Hughes Jr., Danny White, Josh Crider, all these other drivers. There goes the 95 ride, but we're looking for that other big group of cars. Here they come down the back straightaway. They should all merge in together here, and we talked about how good they came down pit road together right there, and I think it's going to work out perfectly here for those Redemption Motorsports rides, as that should give a big run here to the 24, to the 2 ride, to the number 16 of Matthew Wood, to Applegate, and that should navigate them pretty close to the front here. Looks like they're going to catch up to the 25 ride rather quickly, but look out for Josh Crider. Crider, a little slideways there. Oh, baby, that's a big slide right there. I do believe that was Crider. No, it was Aiden Lucas. Aiden Lucas who goes for the slide there. So they got pretty identical paint schemes, that green and yellow look, but it is this 15. They're 4 wide right here, man. This is tough to get through. 4 wide is never easy. Obviously, a couple cars coming back off of pit road. They're a little slower and just stuck 4 wide. Unfortunately for Aiden Lucas, he kind of gets bounced around and bounced up into that outside fence. And for the sun drop Ryan, he's going to head down pit road looking to get that car repaired. Unfortunately, that's going to probably take him out of the running here this evening, biting a quick caution flag out there on the racetrack. But I do believe he's going to fall a lap down now as he's down pit side here. As Lonnie Crider says, it's happy hour. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. It's happy hour, Lonnie. How are you? Mr. Crider coming in, showing the love here this evening as Brian Carriage says, come on, 88, let's go. And it says, come on, Landon, as out in front, still yet to pit here, still having to make a green flag pit stop is Chris Getz, is Ben Gleason here this evening as Matthew Wood and Grant Applegate leading this big pack here. They've got their teammates back behind them. That's the 24 ride of Jordan Hand. That's the number 2 ride of Landon Burbage. They're right here at the front of this pack, so they should consume the race lead as Chris Getz and Ben Gleason navigate their way down pit road here over the next handful of laps. They should be working their way down pit road, and with only 10 laps left to go in this race, it's anyone's game still. Drivers can still make a big run here coming from deeper in this pack up to the front of the field. We'll have to wait and see who can make those moves, who can jump up here into the battle. You do see Matthew Morgan right here. He's at the tail end of this lead pack. They got a good sized field right here. I'm going to say it's about 13 drivers that are on the lead lap in this pack. The 95 ride, unfortunately, a few laps down. Now the 19 ride of Melvin Brengruer. He is also a lap down out there on the racetrack. So not really in contention for the race win, but in contention for that lucky dog for the 19 ride. But he's in that lead pack as well. So the lead pack has a big group of cars for Chris Getz and Ben Gleason. They're out in front. They still have to make a green flag pit stop here this evening. I don't think they can make it to the end here, even if they roll out of the throttle. If they run slower lap times, they're not going to be able to save enough fuel, so that's going to be tough for them here this evening. As Heyitskevcustoms says, I don't know why I even bother, laugh out loud. Says single car wreck caused everyone on the outside slams on their brakes, causing me to hit the car in front and turning only me into the wall. Oh, brother, that is a heartbreaker, Holler. Heartbreaker, brother, man. That's a tough break, man. That's never fun to see. That's never a good time out there on the racetrack, man. And hey, listen, brother, you were having a solid run. You were having a pretty good day. there's always better days, man, and that's kind of just super speedway. Sometimes you're the ball, sometimes you're the bat. Unfortunately, here today you're the ball, but sometimes you can get back onto that horse and find your way into the top 5, into the top 10, having good runs. It's never over till that fat lady sings, and it's early on in the season as we do see Ben Gleason and Chris Getz both finally head down pit road here. They make their green flag pit stops, and that will concede the lead back here at the front of the field to the 16 and the 24 ride. So Matthew Wood and Jordan Hand out in front leading this race, but Connolly's been running really strong all day long. We talked about that 25 ride and how he's shown some really good speed. He's made some really bold moves out there on the racetrack as well. So Connolly could be one of those drivers that could either A, potentially put himself into the winner's circle here this evening, or B, potentially cause a big wreck out there on the racetrack. We'll have to wait and see how this one kind of plays out as teammates get lined up together on that outside lane. Matthew Wood getting a big shove here from Jordan Hand. His hand's going to shove him right down the racetrack in front of that 25 right again, keeping Connolly back there at bay. And you do see a pair of those Carrier Motorsports rides right there within contention as well. There's the 91 ride right in this mix. Is a big move for the 6 to the outside lane. Man, they are shuffling around as we get closer and closer to this checkered flag. You see Brian Underwood trying to get that 3rd lane roll in. Some big blocks into the 18 of Noah Blackwell. Blackwell has been throwing some big blocks on him right there. Man, this is gonna get intense, ladies and gentlemen, as now you do see the 6 run gets a run to the inside. It leaves the 18 up on the high side, and here comes Josh Crider. Crider sees it, says, you know what? I'll jump up here. I'll help you out. Let's make this a 3-wide battle for the race lead. As he jumps to the outside, trying to push that 18 right up towards the front. You also see the 88 ride right there in that mix as well. That's Dylan Carrier. Carrier knows that that's his teammate leading that outside lane. If he can get Noah Blackwell up there, potentially that could give his Carrier Motorsports an opportunity to pick up the win here this evening. The 24 looking to throw that block as they come with a big head of steam. Baby, look out. Oh, man, it is on like Donkey Kong. We're 3-wide racing for the lead here at Daytona International Speedway. A little squirrely there for the 24, but look at Crider. Makes the move down to the inside. Leaves the 18 high and dry as here we go. Carrier now gets to the back bumper of his teammate. So Carrier now right on the back bumper of that 18. Jordan Hand gonna push the 88 is the number 5 ride of Josh Crider. We talked about him not too long ago. He's been back there at the back of the pack just trying to survive this race, trying to keep himself out of trouble and out of the carnage here this evening. And now all of a sudden here he is right in striking distance, trying to pick up the win here this evening, man. What a run for Josh Crider late in this race. But man, oh man, oh man. It is far from done, ladies and gentlemen. 5 laps left to go. Anything can happen. Do you guys think we stay clean and green? Do you guys think we have a big wreck out there on the racetrack? How does this one play out? And who puts themselves up and into victory lane here this evening for our season opener of the Premium Stock Car Racing League here from Daytona International Speedway? If you guys are enjoying this racing action, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as man, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Lap traffic may play a hand at this as well, as you do see that one number 14 ride right there in front of him. Looks like he's gonna move over, allow our race leaders to go by right there. Good move, allowing these guys to just kind of get up and out of the way. Is now here we go, big run for Jordan Hand. He jumps down to the inside, leads the Carrier Motorsports rides there to the outside, a little high and dry as he looks to get that run down low. Him and Connolly hooked up here, trying to get to the front of the field, but here comes Noah Blackwell. Here comes Josh Crider. They're right back into the mix here at the front of the field, as they are 2-3 wide, still battling here at the front of the pack. It's still anyone's race as they round corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Back down the front straightaway here to the tri-oval. Noah Blackwell out in front, getting shoved here from his teammate Dylan Carrier. His Carrier trying to keep himself up there, but look out, here comes the 6th ride. Oh baby, Brian Underwood able to get a big run, gets to the outside there with Dylan Carrier. That breaks up the Carrier Motorsports machines, as now they're, oh man, some big moves again out of Brian Underwood, and that puts Underwood out in front. He's been slicing and dicing his way up and through the field, and with 3 laps left to go, It's not over yet, and now we see him get down to the inside, but there's contact. Look out, the 12 right up into the outside fence. That's Matthew Morgan going around. No caution flag as of yet, but as the rest of the field starting to catch up, we'll see if he can get rolling. There's the yellow flag. Caution flag is out. Yellow flag is out. Oh, baby. Oh, it's Josh Crider, and Danny White gets tied up in it as well. Oh, no. Heartbreak here as Matthew Morgan, first car to kind of get tied up in this one. Let's see if we can get another angle at it, see what happens as he's running in the middle lane. It's Josh Crider up to his outside, and just looks like he tries to move up right here. I don't know if he realized that the 5 of Crider was there or not, or if he was trying to get more square with the 61 ride. Nonetheless, you watch this 12 machine. Kind of moves up the track here ever so slightly right there and up across the nose of the 5 right of Josh Crider. They get tied together. They end up into the outside fence. Quite a bit of damage right there for the 91 ride of Sean Jensick. Jensick gets some pretty heavy front end damage. Everyone able to keep themselves, for the most part, out of this wreck until a little bit later on as the 12 going to go around right there. You see the damage to the front end of that 5 ride. He's kind of slow on the racetrack, trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction. He definitely wants to see the yellow flag. Unfortunately, he's parked right there in the middle of the speedway. And as he is parked right there in the middle of the racetrack here, as he was able to get that thing rolling, back pointed in the right direction, but with the front end damage, potentially either just trying to get that caution flag, knowing that he wanted to see it, or just can't get that car under control. Unfortunately, it loops it around, and then as that happens, there's a couple cars that are sliding in here in a quick hurry. See the 79 ride is the 76 and this, or 67 and the 72, just able to avoid him right there. My gosh, that was a close call there. That's Heinrich is there, and the 72 of Gaston just able to avoid him, and then the 79 of Danny White cannot avoid that toxic Crider ride, and his brother Jordan Crider ends up into it as well. Some pretty heavy damage there for the 33 machine, and then the 12 ride down here on the bottom side of the racetrack. I believe he ended up getting some contact here as well, but maybe he didn't. I thought he did. I thought he got tied up in this as well. Did I not see another car drive into him? Maybe it was just seeing the 79 ride go around there or not, but I'm not sure. But let's take a look at it as these drivers all kind of slide in here. Everyone trying to keep themselves out of trouble, and that heavy contact there. 12 down low, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Trying not to give that car any more damage, but man, there were some big hits right there for a bunch of these drivers. See if we can jump on board here with Josh Crider. Crider definitely not going to be happy about the outcome of that wreck as he was trying to get a big run here to the outside lane. Let's see if we can jump on board here with them as they head down the back straightaway here. Only a couple more laps left to go. He's pushing the back bumper, jumps to the outside right there, trying to take this run to the outside of the 12 ride. 12 ride comes up right there. They get tied together. He gets bounced up into the fence. Heavy right front damage for him, and then you see this wheel just kind of completely busted around. He's trying to keep this thing pointed the right direction. Yeah, you can see that wheel is just completely messed up. Really nothing he could do right there, and just gets that car stuck right in the middle. And oh man, that's a big hit there for Danny White, man. That is a heavy hit. That is a night ender potentially. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Danny. Is Danny gonna see the smoke, gonna see some things happening, and then all of a sudden there's that car parked in the middle. These two cars go to the high side. He jumps down low. The car's on the outside, able to make it through, but the 5 kind of washes back down. Unfortunately, right in front of Danny. Heavy damage there for him. Heavy damage for the 33 ride tied up in that as well. And man, a bunch of tore up race cars late here in this race. And now we head to NASCAR overtime as Dylan Carrier has this race lead. Let's see if we can get Dylan up here into the booth real quick as Dylan, our race leader, hoping to try to put himself up and into victory lane. Let's see if we can get him in here for a quick little in-race interview. Hey, Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Dylan, man, late race action here. Obviously, NASCAR overtime. You got 2 laps. You got some teammates around you. How do you got to keep these guys back there at bay? And how do you put yourself back up into the Daytona International Speedway victory lane?
Yeah, we just got to be smart here. Side drafting's huge. Just got to not get side drafted and be in the right place, right time. Honestly, leading on a green right checker is not where I want to be, but hopefully I can keep Noah behind me because I know he's a great teammate. He's a great guy, but I know he's gonna try to pass me to lock himself in. So, well, if we can finish 1-2 again for Carrier, that'd be great. 1-2-3 would be even better. I don't know where Sean and Cody are at, but it'd be nice. So I guess we'll just have to go out there and see if I can either win it or finish second or try something here.
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately for one of your teammates, Cody, he is pretty much out of this race. I do believe he scored back in about the 29th position and a lot of laps down, unfortunately. And I do believe his night is over here this evening. And for your other teammate, Sean Jensick, he's back in about that 10th, 9th position. So he may be able to get up there and help you. But I don't think either he's going to be able to move forward that quickly or you guys are going to be falling back that quickly where he can get to your back bumper. But nonetheless, man, it's going to be fun to see how you guys play this one out and see if you can keep yourself here at the front of the field. Obviously a little offense, but a lot of defense here being that race leader. Good luck, have fun, and hopefully we see you back up here in the booth in just a few more moments.
All right, thank you, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Dylan Carrier's Carrier going to get ready to go to battle here and look to try to put himself up and into victory lane. His teammate Noah Blackwell there to his outside. Frank Hughes Jr., William Connolly, Jordan Hand, Matthew Wood, Brian Underwood, Grant Applegate, Sean Jensick, Landon Burbage, our top 10, ready to see that green flag fly here for what could be our final restart of the evening, as it is our first attempt at NASCAR overtime, and the inside lane gets a big jump. Dylan Carrier out in front here, looking to try to keep that 61 ride back there at bay. Couldn't quite keep him down there, but he is able to find his teammate here as Noah Blackwell gets to his back bumper. So the outside lane trying to stay locked together, looking to try to push the 88 of Dylan Carrier up and into victory lane, but it looks like we're going to go right back to the caution flag, and we will go back to our NASCAR overtime here again. So we didn't make it very far. Caution flag comes back out, and we will get everyone kind of stacked back up here again. As let's take a look at it, as it looks like potential contact between the 87 here of Chris Getz and the 19 ride of Melvin Branger. Melvin a little farther back in the field here, and unfortunately looks like he's going to get into the 87. That's just going to loop that 87 right around. And unfortunately for Chris Getz, goes for that loop-de-loop, pointing the wrong direction. That will bring the caution flag out. So our first attempt at NASCAR overtime is a no bueno. No good right there. And unfortunately, not a good one right there for Melvin Branger. That's a tough hit right there, and obviously contact between him and Chris Getz. Melvin was just able to get back on the lead lap, and I think he was trying to race his way up here, hoping to try to gain some positions in a quick hurry, and obviously not the way he wanted things to go right there as he gets to the inside of the 87. They make contact, and it just kind of hooks the 87 right around and brings that yellow flag back out. So we will stack him up. We will rack him up. We will get ready to try it all over again here. Let's see if we can bring a driver like William Connolly up here into the booth. This Connolly, he's been looking fast all day long, man. This 25 ride has shown some really good speed. Let's see if we can find Connolly. There he is. Let's see if we can get Will up here into the booth. Hey, William, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, man, so far here this evening, you've shown a ton of speed out of that 25 ride, man. You've been pushing your way up to the front. You've been making some pretty big moves out there, and looks like you got a good handling car, a fast race car, and here you are inside the top 5 during this second attempt at NASCAR overtime here this evening, man. How you feeling, and what's going through your mind right now?
I think I need gas.
Oh,
This
no.
is going to be a bad time. Hopefully there's another wreck.
Yeah.
I don't know how they have enough gas, so they could run out. Who knows? Especially if there is another wreck.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. It's definitely going to get tight for a lot of these drivers. Now, for some of them, they were down pit side a couple laps later than you guys, so maybe just enough that they're going to be able to make it one more attempt in NASCAR overtime here, but it's probably going to get tight here for Carrier, Frank Hughes Jr., Blackwell, some of these guys that were down pit road there on lap 86, lap 87. We still see some that are out there that are rolling since lap 85, like Matthew Wood. How tight are these guys on fuel here this late in the race?
I believe they're very tight. I think I could have made it if we did one more, but it's been a good day. I don't want to run out of fuel on the last lap and turn it into a bad day.
Absolutely, but now you put yourself into that risky position where you're scored back now in that 15th position. You're about mid-pack, and obviously the intensity and everyone going to be looking for everything they can. How do you avoid the big one that may be happening right here in front of you late in this race?
I think that it's I think you can't stay back. I think you just have to go for it. I still have a fast repair, so I'm not too worried about that. I know a lot of these guys don't. So I think I'll just go for it and see how many positions I can get.
Absolutely. You're just going to send it and try to put that EFF machine up here at the front of the field and maybe into, a top 3 run and back up here into the booth. Nonetheless, William, good luck. Have some fun out there, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the booth in just a few more laps.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for William Connolly, as William Connolly getting ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here once again. Let's see if we can pull the driver in right behind him here. Now, I do believe that Jonathan Gaston was able to win our second stage of the day. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth right now, as Gaston's waiting patiently here. Let's get him up into the booth before we go back green flag racing. Hey, Jonathan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I sure do, man.
Jonathan, man, you're able to win stage number 2. Here we are, though, late in this race, having to come down pit road, making sure you're good to go on gas, but now stuck back here about that 16th position. What are you going to do to try to get yourself back into contention here for a solid run, or potentially, into a, top 5, top 3 finish?
We're going to be aggressive. As soon as I see a hole, I'm going to try to fill it. Then I'm going to eat me some barbecue after this race. Got a good sponsor on the car tonight, and hopefully I can bring it home here.
Absolutely, brother. Well, that car is looking beautiful out there on the racetrack as always. Obviously, winning that second stage and putting yourself here late in this one. You're still alive. You're still in it. The car has all of its fenders on it, and you're going to be looking to try to make some moves here. And, this could be not our last attempt in NASCAR overtime here, so if you can avoid a big wreck there at the front of the field, maybe it opens up a few more positions and gets you a little closer to potentially trying to win this race.
For sure. I still got a fast repair in my pocket, so we'll see what happens here.
Absolutely, brother. Well, that 25 ride right in front of you is in that same boat. He just said the exact same thing as you. Has that fast repair. He's going to be aggressive, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch you guys try to slice and dice your way up to the front of the pack.
Hey, boy.
Good luck. Have fun out there, brother, and hopefully we see you back up here in the booth in just a little bit.
All right. Sounds good, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for the 72 ride to Jonathan Gaston as he gets ready to rumble here, but out in front it is Dylan Carrier. Carrier has the race lead. He elects to use the outside lane here, which I thought is very odd, because he could have had his teammate Noah Blackwell there in his back pocket, but now he's going to give up on his teammate and use the 6 ride here with Brian Underwood. We've seen Underwood be aggressive, and here he is already going to the outside, looking to go 3-1, but it works out perfectly for Dylan Carrier as his teammate in the 91, Sean Jensick, now to his back bumper. So it's Carrier Motorsports here at the front of the field. We saw the 88 push that 91 right almost to victory lane until that final lap move. And Carrier and Sean Jensen came 1-2 last week here at Daytona. Can they get it done here again as you see all these drivers back there deeper in the field trying to make some moves, trying to race their way up to the front of the pack? It is on like Donkey Kong, and some of these drivers that talked about being aggressive will have to wait and see what they can do and where they can maneuver to try to get themselves up through the field. See the 72 right in the middle of 3 wide. Unfortunately, that's going to slide that 72 of Gaston a little farther back, but you do see some more of these cats right here. 3 wide down across the line. Can they make it to the white flag? They're wrecking back behind them. White flag is out. White flag is out, and we have virtually the same finish we did last Saturday. What in the world is happening here? Virtually the same outcome that we saw last Saturday night. The 88th and 91 teammates 1 and 2 here on the Speedway, just in reverse roles. The 7 rider, Caden Gargiulo, he's back here in 3rd. He's looking to try to get something going, hoping that he can get the run, but can Sean Jensick get payback from the late race move that his teammate put on him here at Daytona last Saturday for our shootout win? Can Carrier hold him off and put himself up and into victory lane as there's a 3-car fight back to the start finish line? As for the final time, out of corner number 4, Caden Gargiulo goes for the move on the outside of the 91. That's going to keep them battling for second as Dylan Carrier will get it done and put himself up and into victory lane. Carrier gets the job done and picks up the win here again at Daytona International Speedway. And for the 88, he's the first driver here this year to put himself into our Premium Stock Car Racing League playoffs here this evening. Dylan Carrier getting the job done. Caden Gargiulo making that late race move before Sean Jensic could, and he steals second place away from the 91 ride. So he breaks up the Carrier 1-2 finish, but still a 2 cars inside the top 3 there for Carrier Motorsports, but for Dylan Carrier and Sean Jensic, I don't think they could get any more lucky out there on the speedways. Applegate comes home in 4th, and Landon Burbage rounds out our top 5. Heavy damage there for the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. I'm not sure if Matthew's still trying to finish this race or not, but let's take a look back here and see what happens, as virtually the exact same thing happened last Saturday, man. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. The exact same outcome coming to the white flag. The 91, the 88. Reverse the roles. The 91 was leading at the white flag. The 88 ride was in second. They were pushing each other down across the line. And all of a sudden, they start to rack behind them just before the start-finish line. Now, for iRacing, they can't throw the caution flag quickly enough. The white flag is already virtually in the air at this point. So they cannot call the yellow flag this quickly. Even if they were, the yellow flag would probably be called right about there. iRacing can't call it that quickly, obviously a meter or two before the start-finish line. White flag already in the air, but you do see it starts with the, I do believe it's the 6 and the 5 right here. Crider gets a big run, gets to the back end of last season's champion, or back-to-back champion here, and it's just going to get the... It's going to get the 6 ride bent out of shape here. You see the 5, he's pushing, he kind of almost bounces up into Matthew Wood, but still gets this big run, and unfortunately gets into the inside of that 6 ride right there, and it just hooks Brian Underwood down into the 61 ride. Nowhere to go for Noah Blackwell, nowhere to go for a bunch of these drivers down the inside. Blackwell gets tied up in it. Matthew Wood, nowhere to go as he slams into it. Here comes Gaston, here comes the 67, here comes the 66, turned around, the 72 in there, the 5 of Crider, the 24 of Jordan Hand. They're all tied up in this. You see, oh man, tough break there for Farrell Robbins. Him and Chris Getz get tied together. They end up in it. Melvin Branger sideways there on the racetrack. He's turned around. The 25 right of Connolly, who said he was going to be aggressive trying to get through some of this action. Here he is. He gets tagged in it late. He's on the binders trying to avoid it, and all of a sudden, right here, gets tagged from the 76, slides around, goes around. Not too much damage there for him. You see Jordan Crider go for a spin down through the inside of the racetrack, and man, a lot of drivers tore up right there, but it kind of just gets started up here with that 5 ride in the 6 machine. Underwood and the 5 of Josh Crider. And that's where we're going to see this one kind of get started right there. There's the contact. There's the spin. They're all wrecking here. Everyone bouncing into it. Everyone getting tore up. And all of a sudden, it opens up the door here for the top 3 just to break away again. Virtually the same thing we saw last year. Last Saturday, what am I saying here? What happened last Saturday, just reverse the roles. The 88 ride was pushing the 91 ride to what looked to be a 1-2 finish for the Carrier Motorsports group, but here in this one, they reversed the roles. Carrier out in front, the 91 ride pushing Dylan. We were expecting the 91 to pull out a line and try to do the same thing Dylan did to him last Saturday evening, and this time he makes the move a little too late. I think right there might have been that time for him to try to jump to the outside. Unfortunately, he doesn't go. The 7 ride does. They make a little bit of contact there as they battle back to the line, but by the time they were battling there, it was already Dylan Carrier's race to win, and he is able to get it done and pull himself up and into victory lane here this evening as we'll get ready to pull Dylan up and into the broadcast booth for the victory here this evening as Brian says, let's go Landon, Wood, or Hand. Well, Landon came home 5th there. Good run for Landon. Still top 5, even though we got a little damage in that one. Same with Jordan Hand, who came home in the 9th position. Not a good break there for the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. And it says, proud of you, Landon, top 5, way to go. Brian Carrier says, hell yes, he says. He's been cheering on his son there as Dylan Carrier picks up another big win and also wins our Rollin Wieners lucky dog here this evening as well. So, man, some big moves, some big dubs there for those guys, and let's get our race winner up here into the booth. Hey, Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
I got you loud and clear. Back to back, baby. Let's go.
Back to back, brother. It couldn't have played out virtually any better for you and Sean Jensick. The reverse roles of what we saw last Saturday. It was you pushing the 91 ride down across the white flag as they were wrecking back behind you guys. All of a sudden, it ended up as a 3-car race here for the race win. And this time, it looked like he was going to size you up, trying to make that same move that you made on him last Saturday night to steal the win away from Sean Jensick. Unfortunately, before he can make the move, the 7 ride jumps to his outside, and it makes them battle back there for that second spot, and you're able to just drive away and pick up the win to win another one here on the season already. Obviously winning the shootout, which was a non-points race, but you come back here to Daytona this weekend and you park yourself right back up here into victory lane, man. We might have to start calling you the Dale Jr. or the Dale Earnhardt Sr. here of this series when we come to these super speedways. Obviously this season off to a hot start, 2 for 2.
Yeah, man, it's a hot start to the season. I'm here to play this season after the end of last season I had. I'm here to play. I'm here to run for that championship. And you know, Sean, we were talking about if we were 1-2 and there was a big wreck again, what we would do. And I think we weren't expecting Caden to jump down like he did, or jump. I think he jumped up. I was just looking forward when we came out of 4, and Caden jumped out there real early, and that's when I looked up and I started pulling away. I'm like, I got it. The team's getting paid again. But no, great race. I didn't have to dodge 9 wrecks this time, so that was better. About there on lap 70, me and Sean were 1-2. We figured out that during the daytime, the high lane, way more dominant during the day than it is at night. At night, the lanes are more even. During the day, track's got less grip. That high lane is where you want to be. And there at about lap 70, we were 1-2, and I'm like, hey, Sean, doesn't this look familiar? We both got a good lap out of that. And no, overall, good race by everybody. Noah did a lot better this race. He led, I think, 10 laps. So overall, great, better team effort. We brought Cody on to this week, too, because Ryan's going to miss a lot of the season. So we replaced Cody with Ryan, so Cody Blackmore is our 4th driver. Ryan will just be our part-timer that just shows up here and there. So, but good run out of the 4 of us this week. Sucks for Cody being involved in, I think, every single wreck there until the end, but wrong place, wrong time. Hopefully his luck turns around. Let's get him a win this season. And yeah, overall, great race.
Yeah, absolutely. Great race. Amazing battles there late in this one and all evening long. And here you are parking yourself back up into victory lane. But take us through your mind there. That last restart, you were the race leader, were you not?
I was. I did not want to be. Typically, the leader is the one who gets shafted, especially late green-white checkers like that. And I just ended up getting lucky. Brian put me 3 wide at the very start. He said I lifted. I didn't. I spun my tires because I took 1 set of tires, and that was at the very beginning of the race. And he went to take me 3 wide before the line, and I said something to him, and he's like, well, you don't lift. Well, I didn't. I spun my tires. But Sean went with me, and that kind of saved it because as soon as Brian took me 3 wide, I thought, oh, well, I'm getting ready to get shuffled to the back on that very last restart.
Absolutely.
And
we were just about to bring that up because you were out in front, you had lane choice, you like to take the outside lane with Brian Underwood on your back bumper and not your teammate Noah Blackwell there on the inside lane. What was the thought process there? And then obviously with Brian jumping to your outside, your other teammate, the 91, is able to fall right in behind you there and virtually push you here to the win.
Yeah, I took the outside just because of how dominant it was. I was going to try to go late in the box to not get a big jump. And as soon as I went to go, the car just didn't go, and I spun tire, and then Brian went outside, and I immediately thought, oh, shit, like, here we go. I'm about to get shuffled all the way to the back, and then I forgot that Sean was right behind him. So it ended up working out, but I just wanted to control that top lane because of how dominant it is, because I knew if I could side draft the guy in second and the guy behind him going into turn 1, that I could just shoot off down the back stretch there on the restart. So that's what my initial thought process was. That first green-white checker caution kind of screwed Noah because he was behind me. So, I mean, just it's unfortunate, but that's basically what the thought process was.
Absolutely. Well, nonetheless, it works out perfectly for you as Gen 6 able to pick you up, put you back out in front, and then down through that tri-oval, coming to the white flag. They wreck behind you, and you're able to battle with a three-car pack again here this evening. Not very often that we see that, and here we are back-to-back Saturday seeing a three-car race here for the win this evening, and you're once again able to hold off Sean Jensick and another driver outside of your team here this evening for the checkered flag at Daytona International Speedways. To pick up our season shootout opener and our season points opener here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League here at the World Center of Racing. Dylan, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Hoth, Morisaki for being on the car. Work with their stuff every day at work, and honestly, best machining equipment out there is NJB Designs. Noah making me these paints pretty much weekly basis. I give him a lot of money, so better shout him out or he'll be upset. But thanks to the team, we honestly we did a really good job this race over last race, being able to navigate our way through the field, right strategy calls, right place, right time, and Sean and Cody and Noah, we all did a really good job. And I'd like to thank you for coming out and giving us a broadcast so we can go back and watch after each race and bringing in all these fans. And yeah, man, it's surreal. It's back to back and getting off to a really hot start. And I'm just so glad the caution didn't come out on that last green white checker, because I had 0.1 in the tank when I crossed the line. So I had to coast back around to do my burnout. that was close.
My gosh, yeah, that was definitely tight on fuel. We knew fuel was going to be potentially an issue there, especially if we saw another NASCAR overtime, but it all works out perfectly for you. Dylan, congratulations as you park it up in victory lane again here this evening in Daytona, brother. And getting off to a hot start here. Now, obviously, back-to-back Dash for Cash wins as well, so you're on a high note right now. You and the team off to a hot start. You got some extra cash in your back pocket and feeling good here going into our second race of the season next Saturday, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here, potentially into victory lane, trying to make it a 3 wins in a row here to start season number 6 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League.
For sure. Hopefully I can get that win next week and the week after that, and hopefully I sweep all the dirt races this season. I have high hopes for this season.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out there in action. Congrats again on the checkered flag.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Dylan Carrier as Dylan picks up the dub here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive there for that 88 machine, man. Heck of a drive for him here this evening. So we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the number 7 rider, Caden Gargiulo. Hey, Caden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Caden, man, heck of a run, heck of a drive here for you this evening as a little bit of a back-and-forth one here for you. We saw you early on kind of just riding there, chilling at the back of the pack, not wanting to put yourself into a treacherous position out there on the racetrack, and here you are, though, late in the race, making some moves, putting yourself into a good position, and obviously it's almost the winning move there late in this race as you're able to jump to the outside and steal second away from Sean Jensick. But, man, take us back through this race. What's going through your mind after this amazing race?
Yeah, man. So started back in P28 all the way in the back of the field. And I don't have any teammates this season. So, you know, I'm all alone. Gotta kind of deal with what I got. I was messaging a bunch of people before the race saying, hey, I don't have teammates. If I'm near you, help me out. Just kind of hung out and tried as much as I could to keep the car out of harm's way, and ended up where I ended up.
Yeah, absolutely, and not a bad place to be here to start the season in second place here, keeping yourself out of major wrecks out there on the racetrack, keeping yourself out of any major, adversities or anything else. I mean, a pretty solid start, man, and being only a car length or two away from putting yourself up into victory lane.
Yeah.
Well, it was a heck of a run, heck of a performance for you, Caden. Take us back through that final restart. Obviously, you see some movement there right in front of you. Our race leader, Dylan Carrier, kind of spins the tires. We see the 6 ride jump to the outside, but you see this 91 ride of Jensick go with Carrier there. Obviously, teammates, and you kind of stick with them, and you jump right around Brian Underwood, and the 3 of you just kind of push your way up to the front there and come to that white flag. chaos back behind you, you're able to just narrowly avoid it and keep up with those top two and battle there for this race win.
Yeah, off that restart, I was just follow the car in front of me. Wherever the car in front of me goes, I go. That top line has been dominant the whole night. And then when I saw Brian go up, I was wondering like what was going on because we weren't at the line yet, and some stuff was said over the voice chat. Sean went low, and I was like, all right, he's going behind Dylan. 3 cars is faster than 2. I'm going with them. So it was good coming around that. Coming up to that white flag, Brian got behind me. I saw him trying to get below me, so I came down. He checked up, and I think that's kind of what ended up causing that whole deal behind me. But hey, it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly for you. And then there on that last set of corners, you're able to get a good run, close the gap there on Sean Jensick. You make the move to his outside before he can try to make the move around his teammate there to try to steal the win away. But you're able to jump up to his outside, battle with him, back down across the line, and steal that second spot away from Sean, breaking up the 1-2 finish there for the Carrier Motorsports team. But being able to put yourself up here in the second, no teammates out there, man. It was a hell of a performance and a hell of a drive for you out there on the racetrack. Caden, who would you like to thank for such a great day here at Daytona?
Biggest thank yous are to Team Watson Racing Setups and the Guardian Esports crew. Those guys have supported me so much throughout the last couple of years. This is my first time getting a podium with you, first interview. So loving that. And then of course the Redemption Motorsports guys. I hang out in the VC and they help strategy and all that throughout the race.
Absolutely. Well, at least you had some people to kind of lay back on and work with a little bit here this evening, and it all plays out perfectly into your hands. You're able to come home with a solid second place finish here this evening. Hopefully many more good runs and many more trips for you up here into the booth this year. Caden, congrats on that second place run, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here very, very soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Caden Gargiulo. As Gargiulo comes home in position number 2 here this evening. We'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher. Came home second last Saturday. Here this Saturday comes home in third. Once again, losing to his teammate Dylan Gary. Let's pull Sean up here into the broadcast booth as Jensick comes home in position number 3. Hey, Sean, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
I got you.
Sean, man, another solid run, another great race here for you, and almost identical to what we saw last Saturday. You and Dylan Carrier hooked up at the front of the field. They wreck behind you as the white flag comes out. It's a 1-2 Carrier Motorsports across the line for the white flag. It's a 3-car race back down to the line. This time it's reverse rolls, though, and I thought for certain you were going to jump out, make that move, and try to pull the same move that Carrier pulled on you last weekend to steal that shootout win. Here tonight, you just couldn't get that chance. As out of corner number 4, the 7 rider, Caden Gargiulo, he makes that move, and it kind of just blocks you back there and doesn't allow you to try to steal this win away from Dylan this evening. But 2 great races to start your Premium Stock Car Racing League career, man. Take us back through this one and what's going through your mind right now as you round out the podium.
Yeah, I mean, just first and foremost, I was so happy to see that race finish out on that green-white checkered because I did not have enough fuel for another one. That wreck happened before we even got to the line, and I was just praying that Barney wouldn't reach for that yellow flag there, and he didn't. So he kept it, just flew the white there, kept it green, and I was able to make it. But I knew I was in a good position to have a good finish here from that last restart when I was up on the top there. I'm not sure what the I think that was a 6 car in front of me was doing moving up. But he made my life easy getting a Dylan there for sure. Was able to just get right under him a whole lot sooner than I was anticipating. I was able to start shoving him and get in front of that big wreck there that happened at the end. Just let us get that 3-car breakaway. So I know I was definitely thinking about making a move out of 4 there, but I learned last week just how ridiculous that side draft is. And I was gonna, try and get us the best chance to finish 1-2 and just stay behind him and push him. But I had that 7 car get to my outside there, and I got side drafted. So that didn't work out too well. Wish I got the second place, but definitely not complaining coming home here in third.
Yeah, absolutely never a bad spot to be, being able to start the season up with a third place run and not being tore up like some of these other drivers that were hoping to have these good runs, hoping to have these good finishes, and for a lot of them, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, as pretty much everyone back behind you guys ended up in that wreck, ended up getting tore up there late in this race, and it just allowed you guys to, once again, duke it out here for the win. And again, Dylan Carrier, your teammate, the guy that brought you on to the Carrier Motorsports team here, able to get it done. What does that say for your team going into these, obviously the shootout race and then our season opener points-wise here this evening, winning the first 2 races of this season? And here you guys are coming home with a 1-2 finish and a 1-3 finish here to start this year.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. We really did a great job at controlling the race tonight. Even if all 4 of us weren't grouped up together, there are at least 2 of us there up front running that top line, and that top line is just so much better than the inside. If you just get linked up there, you're going, and you don't even have to push that hard. You can just side draft them if they get close to you, and just do your best and stay even. And that inside line's just got no shot there. So we definitely executed for sure. I wish we had the other 2 guys up there with us, because that would have been nice. Obviously, the dream's always the 1, 2, 3, 4, but it'll come eventually for sure.
Absolutely. Well, how strong you guys have been running here in the first 2 races of the season, obviously being the plate racetracks, but there's so many other races and opportunities for you guys to accomplish that 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here this year, and I'm sure, without a doubt, it could potentially happen here very, very soon for how hot you guys have been here to start this year. But, man, Sean, another great run, great finish here for you. Your second podium and your second race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, off to a great start here this season. And who'd you like to thank for such a great run again out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Anything EC and Sparkle and Shine. Sean over there does a whole bunch for me. I'd like to thank Carrier Motorsports and Dylan and Noah. Those 2 guys were big in helping me tonight too. Just run the outside and just keep leading all those laps that I did. And when I wasn't up there, those 2 guys were able to really run away with it too and control it. Thank the guys that put this league on. Having a good time so far. So hopefully keep that up the rest of the season. Like to thank you up here in the booth too, putting these broadcasts on.
Absolutely, brother. It's always my pleasure. Sean, congrats on the great run here, the 3rd place finish here this evening. We can't wait to see you guys back in action next Saturday and see if you can try to make it 3 in a row and put yourself back up here onto the podium. Maybe this time getting that elusive top spot here. You've gotten 2nd and 3rd, and the only better spot to get is that 1st spot, and maybe next week will be your week to capture the victory.
Yeah, I won't be here next week, so that's gonna have to get on pause for a little bit. But when I come back, the goal is for sure 3 podiums, 3 races. Try to get 2 spots better this time, though.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing you back out there when we see you back out there, brother. Congrats on the great run, and I guess we'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Yep, I'll see you soon. Don't worry about it.
Beauty. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 91 rider, Sean Jensick, as Jensick comes home in position number 3 here this evening, man. What a run, what a race, what a performance here by each and every one of these drivers, man. Heck of a show, heck of a drive here today, man. These guys put on a heck of a battle for us, man. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of ups and downs and everything else, and, man, they put on a absolutely amazing race here this evening. We can't thank all of you guys enough for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you guys are still watching and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream right now. Hit that thumbs up button for us here on the broadcast, and hit that subscribe button as well. If you're not yet a part of the Peacemaker family, what's stopping you? What's holding you back? Join the ever-growing Peacemaker Gaming team here this evening. Hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today, and make sure you turn turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys back here next Saturday night for some more premium stock car racing league action, man. As that was a heck of a show, heck of a race, and another amazing battle here this evening. The Premium Stock Car Racing League, and we can't wait to see them back in action. We'll see a lot of these drivers again in battle tomorrow night, as we'll be back in action here in the broadcast booth tomorrow evening, and hopefully we see you guys back up in the grandstands cheering on all these drivers and a bunch of other drivers in our Sunday night series. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all later. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet, sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Laugh,